Well, hello, dudes and dudettes. Give me just a second. What's up, Toka? You're the first one here. Flipping over the screen. My stream did have a notification that got sent out to me today, which is lovely. Crack open my Dr. Pepper, and let's get today started. So, we are having another Falcon heavy Sandbox stream, which means we're going to be continuing our adventures trying to emulate what SpaceX has done over the past few years. Let me grab my notes. Last time we streamed, we built the Grasshopper engine, which, I can pop it up. This is what the Grasshopper looks like. The Grasshopper was the first rocket, as far as I'm aware, that SpaceX was using to test their launch, hover, and come back down on the landing pad sequence. And we emulated it almost 100%, to the point where we have a rocket that looks almost identical, goes up in the air, hovers for a little bit, comes back down, lands itself, shuts off its engines. It's pretty fucking cool. So, we're going to continue with this. We need to do possibly some more tinkering and make this engine a lot better today. We need to work on our hovering, we need to work on our speed control, we need to work on our acceleration units. We have, like, all of this little stuff we have to figure out. But that's what the stream's for. I have tried to refrain. I was so close. Yesterday, I think, I was popping up Kerbal Space Program because I wanted to program on these freaking rockets. And then I was like, nah, if I do that, I'm going to be getting ahead of the stream. So, I have not done anything. I'm still going to suck at this, but let's see what happens. Before I start this off, let's start the stream properly with a bowl. Unfortunately, I don't have one loaded up. Normally, I have a bowl preloaded before I start the stream, but I am a little rambly and out of it today. But that's good. Rambly is how you do streaming. And hello, Matt. I believe I said hello, but if I didn't, hello, buddy. Today, we continue our adventures. You know what? While I'm loading up and smoking a bowl, let's watch the amazing rocket that we produced in the last stream. The SpaceX knockoff stream. But as a fair warning to everyone, this is going to be a little bit of a slow stream again. I have a feeling it's going to be less slow than last time because I have a slight grasp on the programming language, but you never know. Before I just launch that, let's recover, put in a new one because you never know how far it slid off the launch pad, and see if this thing still functions. Theoretically, it should. Oh, crap. I need to plug my joystick back in. Oh well, it's fine. Maybe I'll use the keyboard controls. Let's see if this thing still functions, and if I can even still remember how to make it function. So, switch to... Well, I'm glad it takes off, but that's definitely not what I wanted it to do. Hold on, let's revert to launch. I didn't click on the terminal before I started typing, so I typed switch space, and it staged. My amazingness. Revert to launch. Have you ever tried to smoke grass? Like, literal grass? No. Because that's dumb. And hello, Haley. Let's pop up the KOS. Now, this is what we built last time. In last stream, we built this relatively simple rocket, and it looks almost identical to the SpaceX Grasshopper. I mean, the landing legs are different because, yeah, there's... oh well, we're on the Falcon 9 landing legs, they're on the Grasshopper landing legs. We'll figure that out eventually. However, we built, switch to 0, and edit Grasshopper. We wrote every bit of code in this rocket. Everything on stream, to the point where there's actually some stuff in here that's not being used. But all of this code we wrote on stream, and it is what controls this amazing rocket. I'll type run Grasshopper, and I don't have to touch a single freaking thing, as I'm going to load up a bowl, and hopefully this rocket still works, because, I mean, it was working at the end of last stream. By the way, did you guys finish the Minecraft server? Unfortunately, I didn't finish it, Haley, but I did shut it down, because I had a power outage about a week and a half ago. The server went down and literally no one complained. No one has asked me to turn it back on. At all. So I guess I just am not going to turn it back on. But look at this amazingness. This rocket right now is controlling itself. It's going up to the specified altitude. It's keeping its speed within around 10 meters per second, give or take. And once it reaches its designated altitude, it starts to hover like it is right now. And then it starts to descend. It'll slow itself down so it doesn't descend too quick. Just like so. Oh my goodness. I love this rocket so much. I wonder if it actually does bring itself down safely, though. Where is my lighter? The vital importance that is. Oh, shit. I legit... Oh, there it is. It's in my pocket. Apparently I was walking around with it. Does it shut itself off? It's slowing itself down, and... perfect landing. Would you look at that? It's awesome. Hey, turn it back on. I must complete my quest. Okay. Am I going to make that Falcon heavy today? No, Toka. I am working on the SpaceX timeline. I'm working from the Grasshopper, the Grasshopper, obviously, to the Falcon 9, which goes through a couple of iterations. We're probably not going to do all 4 iterations, to eventually the Falcon Heavy. We will get there soon, but I would say probably in 3 or 4 days, Toka. I have to make the programs that... Here, let me show you. The Falcon 9 image. So, the Falcon 9 kind of emulates what we're doing right now with our Grasshopper. If you look, I can even pop up KSP so we can look at it. Right now, all of this right here is the equivalent of the first stage of the Falcon 9. It doesn't have 9 engines, but I mean, it can be compared to it. Because the Falcon 9 is going to need to take off, go up into orbit at an angle, and then detach its first stage, which we don't have, but it's going to have to detach it, then turn itself back down and land just like this one does. That's why we have to work from the Grasshopper up to the Falcon 9, because the Grasshopper is the easy one. We just go straight up in the air and come straight down. The Falcon 9 takes all of this code, and then it adds even more code to make it go out towards the ocean and then come back. So it's going to be very interesting. Nicely done, man. Why, thank you, Matt. I freaking love this thing. Am I doing a Falcon 9 today? Possibly. If I can get the programming done for our rocket, it is entirely possible we will do the Falcon 9 today. You only have a few leaves after last night? Oh, that sucks. Let me take a swig of soda, and I will smoke my bowl to get this started properly. Be right back. And be right back again, because I had to take a swig of soda first. Alright. Alright. First things first. I kind of want to change something up. I want to write a little bit of code that gives us our acceleration. If we can figure out what our acceleration is, not just our speed, but our acceleration, we'll be able to get a lot of additional information. If we can figure out if, for instance, what our speed is always nice, but if we can figure out if we're accelerating at a, let's say, instead of going 11 meters per second constantly, like instead of accelerating at 11 meters per second for a constant amount of time, where we're going from 11 to 22 to 33 to etc., it goes maybe from 11 meters per second, then 12, then 13 on each one of those seconds, and it's an exponential gain. We have to know if we are currently accelerating, aka pulling g-force, so that we can accurately decide whether to slow down, whether to hover, whether to keep bringing our throttle down further, or what. Because right now, and I guess I could always run this again so that we could see what it's doing, I'm about to pick the shit out of my own aircraft real quick. I'm gonna, like, point out all of its flaws to you guys. And gals. I should be more specific. Right here. Pop up the computer terminal. Yes, Dave. Or no, it's Hal. Yes, Hal, I want you to run this. Switch to... It's going to take me forever to get back into this because I haven't programmed in a few days. but it's okay. I wonder if I have to be in capitals or not. We'll figure that out. Run, Grasshopper. Hello, Buckwild. Smome? I just smomed, man. Alright, so this is what we completed last time. It accurately is detecting that it needs to speed up, because its speed is not at the speed limit, which is set to 10 meters per second. But you'll notice we have a slight problem. Once we get to 10 meters per second, it doesn't know when to stop pulling the throttle. It just keeps pulling it until our speed is under 10 meters per second, and at that point it starts going all the way down to 9. There's that little bit of an issue there. We need to fix that, because it seems small, but that's going to be a huge problem later on with the Falcon stuff. Second thing second, we are almost at our altitude we're going to turn to hover. Right now, really I can't complain too much, but our hover, look at our throttle. We never officially hover. We go up and then we start falling back down because the ship doesn't understand that our G-force may have been lowered to the point where we are decelerating, but it just keeps bringing that throttle down until our speed is lower than what it wants. In that sense, it wanted 0 meters per second because it's trying to hover. So it just pretty much cuts the engines off. And that's not at all what we need. Past that, you'll notice it's not keeping the speed limit too well. We have a little bit of a bump, we have a rough landing, it's keeping about 13 meters per second rather than the supposed 10 that it needs. Like, there are some issues with this lovely craft, and we need to fix them today. So first things first, let's do edit Grasshopper and see if we can create a little bit of a program to give us acceleration. Oh, goodness me. I've got hiccups. And they are not good. Flying loop right in here. Now, we have our first wait second right here. That's great and all, but really... Ooh. Oh, I just thought about something. We can use what we've already got set up. We have this set speed to ship velocity surface MAG. That's perfectly fine. We can actually use this to our advantage. I took that out because that was my half-assed attempt to set up acceleration control in the last stream. And I think we can still use this. Acceleration, we need as a Boolean. I don't know if I can create that as a Boolean, but it's fine. We'll just use it as a local variable. Max A, speed limit, speed, start H. Sure, we'll keep all of those. This looks cool. Issue in KSP? Nah. Not today, man. Not today. There are issues with my programming, but that's what we're aiming to fix. So, we first set our speed to our ship's velocity. We then wait 1/20th of a second. What we could do then is divide... No. Do we want to divide or do we want to subtract? We just want to see if it's changing. Within a region of probably 0.5, like an error rating of around 0.5. Meters per second. I'm clarifying. How do I want to do this? So we'd have our speed. We'd probably want to take our speed, our SPD, what we just set to our surface velocity. Then we're waiting 1/20th of a second. If we then compare that speed to our current velocity after waiting a 20th of a second, if our current velocity has changed by any significant measure, times 20, because it has to be times 20 because it's a 20th of a second. So if it changed is this amount in a 20th of a second, you needed to times it by 20 to figure out how much it's going to change in a second. If it's changing over 0.5 meters per second in a second, we need to slow it down or speed it up, slash say that it's accelerating. My god, this is one hell of an if statement. Alright, so if SPD how do you take the absolute value of this, though? That's what we'd want to do. So the problem is that the rocket doesn't hover. Actually, Toka, there's a couple of problems we have. It's not keeping its speed correctly. It's not able to judge its g-force, whether or not it's accelerating or decelerating. And if we're under a single g of g-force, it means we're probably being pulled back to Earth. Because Earth is 9.8 meters per second, and yeah. If we're going over that, it should be able to tell us. This is all we need to know. How am I going to figure out the absolute value, though, of our ship's speed? Because we need to make sure, let's say I'm going 11 meters per second. If I'm then going 10 meters per second in 1/20th of a speed, in 1/20th of a second, I decelerated by 20 meters per second, if that makes sense. And that would be a lot. Why is it taking so long to fly? Nick, you apparently haven't been listening to a single thing I'm saying. But cool. How should we add this variable in? We need the absolute value. We really do. And I don't know how to get absolute value in KOS because it probably doesn't allow it. That's a little bit too high level, I'd assume. Let me double check real quick. I could always make the rocket fly by itself again. I wonder what would happen. Ooh. I've never tried that. Does it have another ignition on this engine? There's 3 more. I'm really curious. What happens if we run it again? Because I have to look something up while it's running. Go for it, Rocket. I'll be interested to see what happens. I'm watching in the small side window. Worst case... Oh, yeah. It tries to stage the top. That's kind of funny. Alright. Do we have absolute value in KOS? Most likely not. But let's go to the documentation for Kerbal Operating System. Let's go for mathematics. And let's see if I can find basic mathematics. It gives me a lot of really good mathematic controls, but I can't believe that rocket is actually working again. Floor, mod, ceiling, absolute value, ABS. Found it! Cool, so I just need to do ABS of that. Sweet, so now let's go down to our control. Where's that if statement? If speed, please bring this rocket down safely. I love how much fuel we have in this thing. It runs so... Why are you going back up? There you go. That's what I was talking about, where we have... Ooh, it's gonna blow itself up. How? That's why we need to program acceleration into it. Are we still alive? For the moment. It's still alive. I'll take it. Now I can still program. But now you see why I have to have acceleration control in this rocket. So, let's go to our if statement again, which is down here. If speed minus ABS, that's what I thought it would be, but I didn't know. Sheep velocity surface MAG. You can use ABC. Hey, thank you. I just figured out the absolute function. Thank you very much. That's slow. It's supposed to be slow, Nick. I have the speed limit set to 10. I don't think you understand how this whole stream is working, man. You might not want to watch. Alright, so if we have our absolute value, we minus it from that. And now... Crap. We need to multiply, but I don't know if we can use more parentheses or if it freaks out on it. It probably is going to freak out. Do we use parentheses or... Hello, Janessa. Do we use parentheses or do we use square brackets? Set speed... No, we use parentheses. Okay, cool. So it doesn't break. I just had problems with that in the past. Alright, speed. I just had to double check. I want to times that by 20 because it's a 1/20th of a second. Oops. It's 1/20th of a second increment that we're checking this. All good. If it is greater than... Probably 1 meter per second. If it's greater than 1, we need to act by setting acceleration to yes. And then I can change our acceleration based on throttle later. Nice. Acceleration equals 1. Bam. No. Set. It's been so long. Set accel to 1 period. It's been so long since I programmed. AKA 2 days, and I just learned the programming language 2 days ago. Alright, from there. Yay, Sandbox! In programming, what language? You use C++, but you know Java. I know Java very well indeed, too. Diamond Epic Gamer, hello, buddy! Is this using SpaceY mod? It is! And I'm actually creating SpaceY stuff. Since I just did something, let's save it. And I will show you guys how this rocket is supposed to work. We are creating the Grasshopper from SpaceX. This is what they originally used to test their launching and landing on a pad. Let me do a real quick revert flight to launch, and I'll show you how this rocket actually does work. It takes itself off, it hovers, cough, cough, it gets into a stable descent, and then it brings itself down safely and lands. I say, on the first try. Switch to 0 and run Grasshopper. Might as well run it again while I'm messing around with the code. It works fairly well. You only multiplied the current speed? Give me a second, Nadav. I'll check, hold on. I am. Let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. Let me go check my, order operations. Right now I'm stoned as hell, so it's okay. Speed 10, but you can see how our throttle right now, our throttle control isn't great. It brings our throttle down by 5% if we're going over speed, and it just keeps doing that until we're going under speed, which is terrible throttle control. We should be basing our throttle control both based off speed and off of our G-force. Right now, I'm not touching this rocket. It is completely controlling itself. And it's going up to a 325 meter hover, which is where the Grasshopper, the last of the Grasshopper launches did for SpaceX. It's kind of cool, but you can see how we have really bad speed control. We're supposed to be descending at 10 meters per second right now, and it just doesn't understand how to keep it exactly at 10. We need to fix this. But it does work. I didn't do anything. That 100% launched and landed on its own. So it works. We just need to fix it. And I'm so glad this is actually still running, because you guys can see things like that rather than just staring at code for 2 hours like last stream. I taught myself this programming language last stream, so I'm still quite a noob. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this. Now, how bad is this to my order operations? It is indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much. My order operations would be incorrect there. It doesn't hurt to add an extra one regardless. So we have our speed that we took from when we start our loop. We wait 1/20th of a second. We then take the speed we took minus the absolute value of whatever our speed is now, and we made it into, or times by 20. If it's greater than 1, we'll start to accelerate. Theoretically, we can have some runtime errors. I have a feeling if our speed... No, speed will always be positive. No, I know what, I'm stupid. So I want to take the absolute value of what our final is, not this. I need our speed minus the ship velocity, the absolute value of that, times 20. Oh my god, I'm so glad I'm talking you guys through this, because I just caught myself on a total runtime error that would have been a problem. So we take our speed, we minus it by what we are currently going, after 1/20th of a second. We take the absolute value of that, so we make sure it's a positive number, because who knows if, maybe we were going 10 meters per second, and now we're going 11 meters per second. If it's going to end up being -1, we need to find the absolute value of that. So we have 1 meter per second of acceleration of our speed, which times 20, because it's 1/20th of a second, would be 20 meters per second of acceleration, which would definitely be greater than 1, aka acceleration 1. We've got it. Okay. You watch this kind of landing all day, that's why you like SpaceX? That's why I'm doing this, it's so much fun. Do you know what a PID loop is? The abbreviation is breaking me. I don't know what PID stands for. I might have heard of it, because I am a programmer, but not in this. Okay. We got all that. Now, let's make sure that we have this separated, and I want to comment it out so I know exactly what the hell I'm doing. Plus, just so you guys are aware, all of my code, well, except for the stuff that I'm adding right now, is in the description. I opened up a Google Docs folder so that you guys can play along with me. And I also have all of the mods I have installed down there below as well. This is our acceleration check. If we are accelerating, this is where we get into our speed check and throttle control. So if we are going up in the air and our speed velocity is greater than the speed limit, and we're accelerating by more than 1 meters per second, we need to bring that down. Accel equals 1. If we are still going up in the air and our speed is less than the speed limit and we are not accelerating, what should I bring this to? And Excel is not 1 equals 0, because that's the only thing it could be. I take that back. I forgot to set the acceleration back to 0. Else Excel, oops, set Excel to 0, and then done. Now, if our stage is on our landing, our descent, I shouldn't say landing, because landing is 0, or landed is 0. So if we're coming down in our descent, and our ship velocity is greater than our speed limit, and we are going greater, oh crap. If we are accelerating, yes, and accelerating equals 1, we need to slow down. If our stages, yep, we're still descending and our speed is less than the speed limit, and we are not accelerating, accel equals 0, we need to bring the throttle down a bit. Okay, let's see what the hell this thing does. Either this is going to be amazing and it's going to fix all of our throttle problems, or it's not going to work at all. And we don't even have to relaunch. We can literally just run the thing again because we have enough fuel. And this was the problem last time. Last time we launched it the second time, it went up in the air and it came down too violently. It didn't know how to control itself. Whoa, look at our speed limit. Oh man, I have a crazy problem. It's still trying to slow down, but it's not enough. So I think I might want to bring that acceleration control down a bit. Hold on, how would it be doing that? We're going way over speed. Oh, I know. I bet it didn't catch it. Boom! Hey, at least it counted as a landing and it cut the engines off. That's going to be explosive. How did we... Alright, well, somehow we survived from that. There's our problem. We need to still fix it. So, acceleration. Let me catch up with chat real quick. I apologize. You new to the stream or you're regular? I believe Nick is new. Your KSP crashed when you loaded your Falcon Heavy model, but SpaceY is awesome. Hell yeah, it is. A PID loop is an error-correcting algorithm. KOS has a really nice implementation of it. This would be a great way to fix the throttle issue. Is an error-correcting algorithm. In which way? Because that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is correct my programming mistake. Because this is all me. I programmed the bad throttle control. Took about 3 hours today, and you redid some of the things you messed up on the last episode. USC strong RCS thrusters on the side, line it back to the pad, and change the names through KOS. Made some variables to push it SAS on. I have no idea what you're talking about. You are throwing me into the deep end, man. Make some variables to push it. Use SAS on, not lock up. Will help you out a lot. Can you put SAS on through the controls? I assume you can, because that's a Boolean and a control. Search PID and KOS search bar. Is there a KOS search bar? Is that a thing? Hold on. I assume you're talking about in the documentation. PID. PID loops in Kerbal OS. Proportional feedback loop. Man, I don't want to be fucking ripping off somebody's code. I want to learn it. Proportional integral feedback loop. Set eye to eye plus. It looks like they just have really well thought out versions of what I'm trying to figure out on my own. I know I'm reinventing the wheel here, but I want to do it on my own. Shit, I just exited out of the documentation. KOS. That, I'm not going to just straight copy their code. Quick start. I haven't copied a single bit of code this entire, well, hello world maybe. But I haven't copied code at all this entire time. I am just custom coding it myself. I'm trying to get it to work on my own. That I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go to PID loops and just copy their code. Did the Grasshopper have RCS thrusters? Yes, for stability. Really, it did. I did not know that. Well, we don't need freaking RCS thrusters. Alright, let's see here. My problem as I went up, it didn't detect that I was accelerating, and the reason for that is because this is too low. We need to bring this to like 0.2 maybe? I don't know if that's gonna work. It might break it because that's a little bit too low, and because they're floating numbers, you can see how the speed, ooh, I didn't know you could do that. You can see how the speed is 25.9500425, like it goes on. That will cause a little bit of a rounding issue whenever I'm doing 0.2 and 0.1 and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to fiddle around with this because I am definitely causing an issue, but I'm gonna bring that into working. Bring this down into where it's a working level, because clearly 1.0 is way too high. So let's save. I just did. Let's relaunch and see if this has a better throttle control. Revert to launch. No, Stoner X. That'd be awesome. If only we had a large enough community to get that trending. Let's see here. Switch to 0 and run Grasshopper. What do you do now? Do you still have that acceleration issue? Last time, believe it or not, you came down somehow. No, you still have an acceleration issue. Or not, because you're accelerating and it stopped. Ooh, hold on, let's see. Does it slow down? Oh my god, it works! But it's still going over speed. It's still slowly bringing that throttle down, but it's just not enough. Oh, it's so close! So I need to change it from an and to an or on some of those. And it doesn't quite know how to hover yet, but it's still trying. Is it gonna no, it's not decelerating enough. Damn it! Oh, it's so much better. Basically, instead of making the throttle go to 0.1 less each cycle, make it an error. Make it the error in your velocity times a proportional value. Ooh, hold on, we're going back up. Why are we going back up? Can you slow me down? No, you cannot. It's trying to, but for some reason it's not slowing it down enough. That I've had a problem with before, and I haven't been able to fix that runtime error, because I'm not certain where it's coming from. If it's saying slowing down, it should be bringing the throttle down, but for some reason, let me see if I can do it myself. Nope, for some reason the throttle is locked up. Very strange. Let's revert to launch. Make it the error in your velocity times a proportional value, which you'll need to tune to get the best result. That's what I was talking about in the last stream, is doing a dynamic fuel adjustment where we're dynamically adjusting the throttle based on what you're saying is a proportion to the error. But unfortunately, I'm too stoned to be doing that kind of math and that kind of on-the-fly thinking. This is about the limit of my stoned programming skills. It will get better as I go along, because I'm not trying to also think about how do I do this, but I'm pretty much at my limit right now. I'm just glad the thing fucking flies. I mean, hey, at least you guys can see something moving. Speaking of, I believe I've been streaming for 30 minutes. I need to get more stoned. Buck Wild, are you ready to smoke, buddy? And for anyone else that wants to smoke along with me, please do so. Oh no, I almost dropped my grinder. I technically did. I dropped the top of it, but that doesn't matter. That has a lot of weed in the top, but it is needing to still be ground up. Oh. I think this thing's going to slowly slide off the launch pad, so I might not want to dilly-dally too much. But hey, if nothing else, you gotta give me some credit. I may be a terrible programmer in KOS, but I am not too shabby for have learned it in literally the last stream that I played this in. And I have done absolutely no practice programming since. Because I've been trying to stay, oh, put the weed in the bowl. I've been trying to stay committed to only playing on stream, which makes it more legitimate. I didn't want to just show up one day and be like, hey look, I have a completed Falcon Heavy with 2,000 lines of code that just spontaneously makes everything synchronized land. Yeah, that I'm not going to do off stream. That would be bullshit. I would much rather have you guys sit here and talk along with me as I see all my trials and tribulations as I see my... I'm going to see them regardless. Alright, smoke in a bowl. Be right back. Alright, let's switch to 0 as I blow smoke slowly out my face. Hey, Grasshopper. It seems to really, really work, which blew my mind. I thought that was totally gonna fuck it up. We do have some runtime errors, because it's acting funky with how it acts whenever it gets overspeed. It should bring... Whoa. It should bring the throttle down a lot quicker, but I'm not certain where that's coming from. I think it's because this is still just a little bit too high. I didn't want to bring it down to 0.1, but I'm going to. Now with that, let's see here. Acceleration off. How did that happen? I'm curious. Let's just see what happens if I launch it the way it is. Worst case scenario, well, Worst case scenario, it blows up. I hope it lands. If it lands, we can have another test shot with this Grasshopper before something blows up. I want to see what's causing this runtime error. Speeding up, all bueno. You know, I should keep... Oh, I should put that acceleration. Instead of having it as yes, we're accelerating or no, we're not accelerating. See, look at... Oh, man, is it doing good keeping the speed this time around. Though we're still going up in speed because it doesn't bring the... Why is it doing that? Else if stage 3, if speed is greater than speed limit and we're not... Oh man, is it doing good though? Nope. It brought that fuel level too far down. And now we're once again in this weird loop. This, I don't know where it's coming from either. I don't understand how it's still going through the slowing down, but its speed is still trying to... Oh! It didn't realize that it's accelerating. Its altitude is going up. Gotcha! See, that's a serious problem. We need to have... I think we're going to convert this acceleration instead... And this is going to make Nadav really happy. Smom... Who was away, and it's like, no, not really. We're just testing it out again. I think instead of having that acceleration as a Boolean value, where we're using it as true or false, we're going to use it as a proportional value, like Nadav wants us to do, to change our throttle. Now, I don't know how well this is going to work. Revert flight, revert to launch. Probably not that great, but we're going to see. Man, is it bugging me. But we could have our acceleration and put it down as an actual number. Where we'd be able to act off that number. But I don't know... Oh, it's too much math while I'm this stoned. I don't know if it'd be a good idea. I know we need to figure out how to prevent this thing from going into that same loop. That where it's coming down and it starts to accelerate too much and starts going back up. We want to prevent that. Absolutely. Let's switch to 0 and edit Grasshopper. Do you think I can get it figured out, Small? I think so, Buckwild. I really do. Hello, meme. Welcome to the stream. It is a little bit of a slow one today, but that's okay. It's because we are doing amazing Kerbal rocket science. Now, acceleration we have as a Boolean right now. We could use it as a number. Let's say we're accelerating at 1 meters per second, or even negative 1 meters per second. If we use that number, and basically we stop using the absolute value and turn it into an actual number, we could act on that number and try to bring our throttle up or down. Like if it's, we could still use it as a Boolean, because if it's greater than 1 or greater than 0, then we can know we're accelerating. Shit, I just don't want to do that. Alright, fine. We're going to. It's going to make this so much more complicated on me trying to figure out accelerations. But we're going to try it. To speed, and then we can take our absolute value off of this. We just want to have... I can actually still have that though. There we go. We want to have speed minus our secondary ship velocity times 20, which will give us how much our speed is changed in a second, aka our acceleration. If that's... That was strange. Oh, I think it was my watch. I saw a light reflection, and it looked exactly like a flame, and it's because I have incandescent bulbs in my ceiling. Orange reflection off my watch looked like a flame, and I started freaking out. I was like, where are flames in my house? Hell no! There better not be. Alright, if our ship is going faster or slower than it was 1/20th of a second ago, we times it by 20 to get how fast, or the change over a second. We no longer really need this. In fact, we can just change this instead of an if statement. We'll put it to set Excel to, I don't think you have to have the next one as 2 that times 20 and completely delete all of this shit that we no longer need. Just like so. Now we have an actual number to work off of. If this makes sense to everyone. We're going to need a period on that. Alright, with our acceleration, if it is say greater than 0.1, as this is slowing down, yeah, we'll see if we can work with this first. I'm going to try and still use it as an acceleration modifier here. Or should I? Damn it! I have two options here. I'll explain them fully before I keep cutting myself off. We can use the acceleration modifier here. We're going to have to change it up a bit. Instead of it equaling 1, we can be like, if it's greater than 0.1, or if it's something like that, we can figure out, we can even use absolute values. We can figure out if we're accelerating or not. But do we want to use this here and in our if statement, so if we should change our throttle at all, or should we use it in our throttle statement where we change our throttle by set amount? Like if I use acceleration, if we're accelerating, I can divide acceleration by 9.8, which is gravity, and I can get our g-force, I believe, unless I'm doing bad math there. I'm probably doing bad math there. But that's, for some reason in my brain, that would make sense. We could get a rough estimate of g-force, because if we're going... No, that wouldn't work. Why does my brain think that would work? I don't know. I need to figure that out. I need to have an if statement to produce verbose statements telling me exactly what our acceleration is and everything else. I'd have to have the proportions there. For some reason my brain thinks that would work, and it definitely wouldn't. That moment when you are about to crush but you realize it is too late to revert. Oh, yep. I said crush rather than crash. Good job. Should I use it there? Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to use it here first, and if we still have problems, I'll use it down here. So if we're going up, stage 3, if we're trying to go up, our ship velocity is greater than the speed limit, and our acceleration is greater than a positive 0.1, we want to slow down. Cool. I assume that will work. Else if we are still going up, our speed is lower than the speed limit, and our acceleration is less than... This is where we can set our acceleration limits. Ooh. We want to keep our going down within a 0.1 speed, but we want to keep our going up pretty quick, because who cares? How fast do we want to accelerate? Do we want to... Like, if I pull... That does work. I don't know why my brain was fighting me there. if I say acceleration is less than, let's say, 10, it would be pulling 10 meters per second, which is a g of acceleration over a g of acceleration in whichever way we're going. So I could theoretically put, man, this is complex math for a stoner right now. I could theoretically put like 5 there, and there'd be half a g of acceleration at any time it's trying to accelerate. That's kind of an oomph, but you know what? Whenever we play Kerbal Space Program, we usually keep the acceleration at like 2 Gs. Yeah, this is such a bad idea. Alright, well if we have it at 2 Gs, that would be like 18. Oh god, this is gonna be bad. Test number a lot. Very much so, man, but I just think I'm unlocking some pretty cool shit here. Else if we're going to the ground, our ship velocity is greater than our speed limit, and acceleration is greater than 0.1, because that's means we're still accelerating going down. We need to slow down, so we bring our throttle up a bit. For this, if our acceleration is, our speed is less than the speed limit and our acceleration is less than, let's say 2, because we don't want to accelerate or decelerate too fast there. We shall see. Wait. I need to have another check here too, but I don't know how we do it. How do we check for our altitude descending? Vertical speed is less than 1. And ship vertical speed is less than 1 to prevent that weird ass glitch that we keep having. Lots of text there, but let's see what happens. Oh wait, this is and ship is less than 1. Oh, no, I need to have that on the other one. And this needs to be greater than... No. Yes. Because this is us going down and our speed is too high. We need to slow down. For some reason, my brain's not letting this work. I don't think that's in the right place. We shall see. Run before this thing slides off the ground. Does it work? Does it? No, it doesn't. What do we have a problem with? Set acceleration to speed. Oh, I don't have an extra one. Got it. I need one more in there. Thank you for your patience. And let's try again. BAM! Let's see if this works. Probably not, but I'm interested to see what the changes do. Speeding up. Nice, because we're not pulling a G of acceleration, or 2 Gs of acceleration. It's keep trying to accelerate. That's what we want. Now what happens when we get to our speed limit? Does it start to slow us down? It tries to, but it doesn't work. Okay, what's the runtime error here? Because it's just my logic problem. It's not allowing us to slow down. Why? Ooh, it did there. Well, why didn't it let us slow down? If speed limit is greater than that and acceleration is greater than 0.1, boom! How do those legs survive? What? First off, that was amazing. And second, what? Okay, so there's still an issue here. I need... Ooh, I destroyed stuff. Quickly. Revert flight to launch. I have serious logic errors here. I wish you guys would let me know where my logic errors are. Because I'm an idiot. Though obviously you don't know exactly what I'm thinking. It's just be like, hey, that me reenacting somebody in the comments. Hey, stupid, it's right there on line 100. If you knew what line on it, geez. Switch to 0. Edit Grasshopper. Okay. So, where was our issue with the runtime there? After this, can you make a BFR? After this, I'm gonna be making the Falcon. Okay, acceleration check. I kind of, hold on, where does it say our speed? Because we have a print line in here somewhere. Speeding up, slowing, oh. Shit, I have a lot of print lines. Well, I guess I can just add an extra line here. Just click plus. Excel equals what? Plus Excel. Now I'm gonna have to copy and paste all of that crap, but that's okay. Copy. Gotta love debugging with print statements. Save. Now, what is our... We're gonna still have a crash. I know it. But what is it actually telling us? Grasshopper. Is it giving us a correct estimate on our acceleration? Acceleration, it's negative. It's always negative. It's -1. Speed minus our secondary speed if we're going fast. I do, because I still need the absolute value, because it's acceleration. It has no positive or negative. It's only positive. You can't, like, you can be accelerating, like, decelerating isn't it, or revert. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I think I understand where the problem is. 6, 7, I think. I don't know why it didn't keep telling me the speed there, but that's interesting. Does it actually shut itself off? Holy crap, it bounced itself to the ground. That was almost amazing. It's still gonna blow up, but it's okay. That was strange. Can I scroll up and down on this? No. What if I hold shift and... no. Control? No. Shift control? No. Damn it. I really wish I could go up and see what's happened. But it does measure acceleration here. Acceleration 2, acceleration -7. That's very strange. Something's going on weird with our acceleration number. When it says speeding up, we should have a positive acceleration because obviously we're speeding up. Like, that was very strange. We had a negative acceleration. So we have speed here. Velocity, acceleration. We have that speed minus this speed times... That's exactly it. It's because we're not taking an absolute value. Our speed, if it's 10 meters per second, and then it's 11 meters per second, and we're still going up, our first speed minus our second speed is going to be a negative value. So we have to do the absolute value of these. I'm just a fucking idiot. So we do ABS again, and we do speed of all of that. I assume that would work. Let's relaunch and see what happens. Revert flight. Oh, the Kraken almost didn't want us. My brain says this isn't right, because acceleration logically should be able to be negative, but really that's just accelerating in the opposite direction. If if I'm remembering physics, but it's been 7 years since I've been in physics, so I can't quite remember my teachings on this. Switch to 0, run Grasshopper. And what the hell happens here? Actually, before I run it, let's edit it, so I may be able to do something. Speeding up, acceleration. Aha! Acceleration is 0.5, 0.6. And look, it's going up because our fuel is going down. Nice! So it is working. That's exactly what we wanted to see. That is exactly it. And now it's slowing us down. Nice, and it's bringing that increment down if we're accelerating more than 0.1. Though it's not doing it properly. We need to set up the runtime for the OR statement here. Does it keep us? Oh man, it's working! Oh, that's so good. I don't want to fuck with it. It's working so well. I feel once you get this figured out, you will never not use it. It depends. Oh, but we're accelerating again. Does it figure it out? It did. It figured out our altitude was going up, so it's to... Yes! It even figured out that problem, so now we don't have that issue anymore. I don't know what it's doing. I think that happens occasionally. Oop. Nope. It's the problem hasn't been fixed. Okay. So it still needs to have a shortcut where it forces it to slow down. Let's do that first. Where if it's going down, it's going down, and its ship velocity is greater than the speed limit. I don't want to care if the acceleration is higher than 0.1. I just want this thing to be brought down. And vertical speed is less than... Hold on. And vertical speed... Ooh, we just ran out of fuel or something. Oh, no, it figured out. It figured out that it was... Hold on, what does it do? This is gonna be interesting. It figured out that it was not supposed to be doing that. Slowing down. It's trying to slow down. Uh-oh. It's only gonna kick on though. What? I'm so curious. What is it gonna do? Oh, that's so cool. And it's actually, look at that. Its speed, it's keeping 2 Gs of acceleration. Let's see if it starts to pull over 2 Gs, what happens. Nothing. Okay, so that's a problem. We need this acceleration here to be brought down to 9. That's what's causing that, I think. That's amazing that eventually it figures it out. Hold on, let me save this and relaunch. I can't believe that worked. I don't know what the hell that was doing, but that's amazing. Revert to launch. It was catching itself. It was like, wait, I shouldn't be up here. And then it was like it has some shortcuts that are happening and some aren't. So we're just having runtime errors here. This is stuff that you definitely have simulations for in real life, because you definitely wouldn't be trying your program on a rocket the first try. Run Grasshopper. What happens now that I brought that acceleration down to 9? You like it? I thought that was pretty cool, if I'm being honest. That was kind of crazy. Oh, what's it doing to the speed? It's doing good there, but it's going over speed. Oh, it doesn't count until it rounds up. Interesting. It's bringing its throttle down slowly but surely. Yeah, I need to start having some OR statements in there. Now, is it going to be able to slow itself? Oh, it is, but how well? Nope. We're still having a problem there. Okay. So we're having a problem once it gets under the speed limit. Oops, that was the wrong button. Once it gets under the speed limit, it doesn't understand that it's under the speed limit. Yeah, it's still trying to slow down for some reason, even though it's... Yeah, that's very strange. Very, very strange. Edit Grasshopper. Nope, it won't let me do that. Interesting. Let's revert to launch and figure out why that's happening. So it's coming down and it's getting under its speed limit, but it's not... It's still trying to slow down for some reason. It's not speeding back up. Let's revert flight. Revert to launch. Your BFR is way too powerful. It blew up the launch pad before you even released the launch clamps. That happens. Use fewer than 60 engines in the first stage. Jesus. Alright, let me pop up the KOS again. Switch to 0. Edit Grasshopper. This is going to be the coolest fucking thing ever after we get it completely set up. Right now, we're just fiddling with the throttle control. And just little tweaks on it are causing some significant problems. But, acceleration is working as we want it to now. Altitude. So, this is where we have our problem. Let me click this and move it. And then drag this out even more so that we can all see everything without it being funky. Okay, so it was coming down. Its ship velocity was greater than the speed limit, and its acceleration... Vertical speed is less than 1. How is that true? Oh, that must have been what kept catching it. The vertical speed is less than 1. That's what kept catching it, I assume. Okay. Acceleration is greater than 0.1. I wonder how this is being activated. It's going all the way down. I don't think that's where the problem is. I think it might be speeding up because it doesn't know when... No, it would have to be slowing down. That vertical speed, I think, has to be an or. Oh, how do I want to do this? It's so fucked. Let me take out the vertical speed, just in case. I'm trying to figure out exactly what part of this is breaking it, and my stone brain can't think it through properly for some reason. For some reason. I know exactly what the reason is. I'm too stoned. Save, run, and see what happens. Does this fix it, or is it an issue with the acceleration number? It might be a problem with the acceleration number being less than 2. I think I might want that to be closer to something else. Our speed is still too high. I need to fix that thing too. Okay, so as we go up, it's not slowing down enough because our acceleration, it's like, is your acceleration over? That needs to be an or. Let's say or, and then let's put this in these guys. I assume this works. And we'll see if it works. Does this thing come down safely? It's preventing its speed too much, slowing itself down. Does it? Nope, there's still an issue there. Once its speed is less than the speed limit, this has to be another ore. Ore. Possibly. Let's see what that does. You're not too stoned, you need to be more stoned. Well, I might try that alternative in a second. Do this again. Is it almost been? It has been an hour. I need to smoke again. Alright, let's do switch to 0, edit. Can I copy this? No. Damn it. I was hoping it could. Switch. Oh wait, did that just get rid of it or did it? No, it did. Switch to 0. Edit Grasshopper. Run Grasshopper. And then copy if I can. Nope, won't let me click on it. Well, I'm fucked there. Let's just do it. Yeah, alternative smoming, indeed. Alright, what does it do now? It does not get high enough. Why the hell did that happen? Oh. I can't have that ore because it's going to slow down, isn't it? Let me check. It's still trying to activate. Hold on, let me control C. Program aborted. Why did it do that? It went up and then it immediately slowed down. Why? We can figure this out pretty easily. It's going to be a runtime error. And it's going to be that ore that I placed. Oh, I put the ore on the wrong place. I put that on slowing down. Should I? I feel like that just needs more. Oh, wait. Yeah, hold on. It's greater than the speed limit, or... The acceleration should be ignored. So, I have a problem with shortcutting here. I need it to shortcut with speed limit is greater than, but unfortunately my acceleration, I don't want to have that shortcutted. Because what's happening is we're going up, and then it's stopping it. We're stopping from acceleration. But it's not hitting this enough to slow down because we're still at, say, 10 meters per second, 10.5, 10.6, 10 point... Because it's in that 0.1 range. Maybe I just bring that 0.1 down? I think that's my best bet on this one. And then I'll mess around with the other one. Let's keep this at and. Let's switch it to... maybe 0.02. That's very fine. That's like crazy close. We'll see what that does. On this ore, though, is it gonna have the same problem? If surface, speeding up, that is adding no. This is where we would want a negative acceleration, I think. We'd want to know if we're going down or not. If If we're going down, this is speeding up. We need to make sure our vertical velocity is going down. This, I think we could still keep it and. Trying to think. Let's keep this still at and, just because I'm not trying to break my brain here. Let's keep it at and. Let me flip this over, and then let's also make sure that our vertical speed's coming down. I think that's where I had my problem, is I put it on slowing down rather than speeding up. Because I want this to make sure that our vertical speed is negative before I'm trying to speed up. If it's not negative, don't speed up. Ship vertical speed is less than 0. Alright, let's see what all those changes do. Possibly nothing, but let's see. Oh, speaking of SpaceX, they're going to have a launch on January 30th. It's not the Falcon Heavy, it's just another Falcon 9 launch, but it's the first of the year, which will be exciting. Falcon Heavy will be something like the February 3rd through the 8th or something. We'll see how that goes. Switch 2-0 run Grasshopper. Alright. Let's see how this works. Nope, it's still slowing down too much. Why? Hold on. Revert flight. Revert to launch. Why is it slowing down? Acceleration 464. What? Hold on. Let me rerun that and watch my acceleration. I think it's our acceleration that's doing it. It's got to be something that I changed to that really low level. Switch to 0, edit Grasshopper. What the hell's doing this before I launch again? Because that's very strange. Why are we slowing down? It's got to be on the upstage. So the first two if statements. Oh, it's still an or. I forgot to save it. Really? No, I don't think I changed it. I didn't fix it yet. Okay, I was like, that's not right as far as I'm aware. Ship velocity. No, none of it got saved. I didn't click save. Damn it. Because if you notice, this line that I just changed didn't work either. Lovely. So let's take that off again. Let's put this to and. There you go. I knew something was strange because that acted very weird. To be honest, it acted like it acted the first time we tried it with those weird corrections, and they didn't work the first time, and they're not going to work this time. And alright, if stage 3 ship is over the speed limit and acceleration is greater than, we want to change this. I had it really fine. I had it at 0.2, I think. And then down here, I changed this to include vertical speed. And ship. I knew something was wrong. Vertical speed is less than 0. We'd want to slow down, aka throttle up, whenever our vertical speed is, and ship vertical speed is only throttle up whenever it's negative. Otherwise, I don't want it to be messing around. Speeding up is bringing our throttle down. Actually, I don't even need this. It's speeding up is incorrect. The ship vertical speed, it doesn't really matter because speeding up is falling. All good. Save. What does this do? I'm pretty sure I'm just fiddling with the same things back and forth. Good so far. Now, what does it do whenever it hits the speed limit? It does perfectly. That's exactly what it should do. Oh my god, look at that. Fine-tuned. We brought it down from 2 meters per second to less than 10 meters per second. Or from 2 to less than 1. Sorry, less than 10. Good job. Now we're in hover mode. Now we're going back down, and it's going to speed up until it reaches the proper speed. Oh my goodness, it's working! So, oh, nope, there's a problem. Okay, so what it happened? Speed. 2G's, oh, it was greater than... Okay, so that's where our problem is. We need this to be at probably 5 to 9. Let's say 5. That's where our problem is. Let's see if it'll bring it down for a landing. It's doing a lot of hovers on its way down, which is not exactly how it's supposed to do that, but we'll see. It's doing good keeping its speed working. Oh, nope, 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 nope. You're going up. Bring your throttle back down. Nope. Bring your throttle back down. When is it going to catch itself? I don't think it's going to. Well, that sucks. Speeding up 1 point. Yeah, something there was the problem. And eventually it'll catch itself and be like, oh, wait, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And then it'll come back down. But that's, yeah, that's our issue. So let's revert flight. Decimal? What are you talking about, decimal? What? You made something, you put the name of your teacher as a word they say the post? What? What? The most? I'm so confused. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Revert to launch, and let's try that again. Because I did edit something while it was going up and down. I changed the descent, maximum descent acceleration to 5, which is fine. We'll see what happens with that. It might edit it a little bit, but I don't know how exactly. Switch to 0, run Grasshopper. Won't it be fucking awesome once we start using the Falcon 9 stuff? Throttling up. If only it could speed up more. I love how well it's keeping that together, though. It's a lot less crazy than it was. I take that back. That was a little strange. That went a little too far down. Interesting. Oh, it's hovering now, and then it comes back down. Now, is it gonna be able to handle this? It's doing some funky shit, but it's okay. Oh, nope. Oh, you were so close! Is it gonna figure out that it's going back up? Nope. There is a major issue with the way we're looking at this. I know this is a terrible idea, but I think we might want to move on to the Falcon, just because I can start messing around with a new, like a complete scratch, like from scratch. Wow, complete scratch. I can't talk at all. I want to start completely from scratch and see what we can do. Because something is uniquely wrong with this. Control C, and then T, and then let's bring our throttle down. I love how I can't for some reason. It disables my keyboard. And I think it just overheated or something. Propellant very unstable. No idea what the hell just happened. Revert flight to revert and launch. There's something going on. You know what I could do? I really don't want to. I'm wanting to give up on this rocket. Not because it's not worth it. Edit, Grasshopper. But I want to move on. Edit to the next one. But we shall not move on until we achieve perfection. Because we definitely don't have it right now, that's for sure. Okay, rocket stuff coming on down. Supposedly we're getting a good acceleration number. Times 20, that's correct. It's not the acceleration is less than 2 problem. That's definitely not it. Is greater than 0.1 and ship vertical speed. Let's say 0.2 here as well. Now let's change this back to 2 and see what happens. Interested. Buckwild, are you still with me, buddy? I know you might have walked around because the stream tonight is not that interesting. Grasshopper. But I think I might smoke a bowl very, very soon. What happens with that? I think that might be our problem. I just looked into it. And I just looked into it, good job. I just looked at it, and that is a significant problem that our acceleration for slowing down was 0.1. Because we are, for instance, right then, we're pulling only 0.3, 0.4 G's of acceleration whenever we're going up. And whenever we're coming down, we're pulling like 1.4 or something, because, yeah. But it's... There's, or those aren't G's, but then acceleration units. I feel like, acceleration units, good job, meters per second. I have a feeling, any luck? Almost, man. We'll see. This is the last time I'm going to check it. I have a feeling that might have been the problem, is because it was trying to slow us down a little bit too much. Bring the throttle down. No, it still doesn't understand just speeding back up. Why? Is less than the speed limit and acceleration is less than 2. The acceleration is a problem. Okay, let's just say if it's under the speed limit. You know what? Let's not worry about acceleration here. Acceleration we have whenever we're hovering. We'll use that later. We'll try to use that in a later... launch, or we'll fiddle out with it later. But I think I want to smoke a bowl with you, man, if you're willing to. Switch switch to 0, run Grasshopper. Looks like the rocket is smoking its own bowl. It is indeed, Stevio. It's running itself, which is kind of cool, but I'm worried about how it's trying to descend. I can't quite figure out what's going on. I think our problem was the acceleration, because we accelerate at like 2 meters per second downwards. But it shouldn't be looking at that. The only thing it should be looking at is potentially if we're going in a downwards direction, if we should speed up or not. But it shouldn't worry about acceleration that much. While we're going up, it should. Not so much for going down, because accelerating going down, we'll just let gravity accelerate us. We don't... our engines aren't doing it. It's not like gravity's gonna pull 2 G's of force on us. Alright, it's trying to bring it back down. Now, does it bring that it brings the throttle back down? Nice. It's still funky, but it's keeping that speed limit pretty good. Alright, I'm not gonna have acceleration on our descent. Well, that's a little bouncy. Let me edit that. Edit Grasshopper. Whenever it's on its descent, I thought we had this at the very bottom. Whenever it's on its descent, the altitude is less than... move my mouse. You guys can't see it, but I can. Is less than start H plus 20. Let's say start H plus 35. And we'll see what happens. That'll slow us down a lot more. Speed limit, let's say to 4. And then change our acceleration again. Slowing down. Greater than speed limit. I'm trying to think about this real quick. It's needed whenever you're speeding up. No, I have those backwards. That's why we're having such a rough landing. Because slowing down is whenever we're throttling up. And I have it where if our acceleration is greater than 0.02, we don't care about this on our acceleration, but we do care about it on speeding up. Let's take this off and put it down here, because we don't care about our acceleration going down. I say that, hold on, let me... Of course I can't control Z. And Excel is greater than 0.02. I think that's what I had it set to. Right now, if we're descending, that's stage 1. If we're descending and the ship velocity is greater than the speed limit, aka we're going too fast, we need to throttle up. We also need to throttle up if our acceleration is... yeah, see, I don't want to be messing with acceleration in this. We just want to throttle up. We don't really care about acceleration. Our ship vertical speed is less than 0. That's indeed because we don't want that to be accelerating us past that. However, if we are coming down for a landing and our ship velocity is less than the speed limit, we want to bring our throttle down a hair, but only down a hair if our acceleration is under a certain level too. No, until our acceleration is up to a certain level. And Excel is under, let's say, 1.0. Right? No. Hold on. That's us coming down. If our acceleration is under 1... Really, the acceleration doesn't matter. It's just to make sure that we're coming down still. We're always going to be coming down, especially in this one. Why do I want to add acceleration to this? I don't think I need it. I think I just need it on going up. But it also helps with the rough landings. It helps with the throttle control, but I can't tell where I need to put it. Hello, Toothpaste! You can't stay, but you're popping in to say hello? Well, hello. I don't even know what the hell Christian's going on about. How should I do these? This is so cool. You want to do this. It's hard to figure out, though. It is indeed. Smom. Oh, I didn't even see you, man. Give me a second, because I need to take a swig of soda, and then I will indeed smoke with you, man. It's so interesting. I'm just trying to get it to work precisely the way I want it before we go on to the next step. Because I don't want us to have a really funky throttle control and then move on to Falcon 9, which has way more thrust. We need pretty fine control of this, and I'm slowly working it out. I'm literally reinventing wheels here, which is why the people that started watching the stream at the beginning quickly dipped out because they realized that I wasn't going to be just copying code. I like to rebuild the code because I like to understand what I'm coding. I don't want to see somebody else's compounded solution to something and have to figure it out. I'd much rather be able to figure it out first and be like, hey, I came up with the same solution. May take longer, but it teaches me more. Especially whenever I'm stoned. Speaking of, time to smoke a bowl! Alright, let's save it and see what happens. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work, right? All I did was take out the acceleration stuff on the descent. Because on descent, we're really not controlling the acceleration that much. We're just, because it's hard to explain. I could put it in there because we could minimize gravity, because gravity is going to accelerate us at 9.8 meters per second. If we're burning in the opposite direction, aka trying to accelerate in the opposite direction of a certain amount, it's going to subtract from the other amount because it's equal in opposite forces. Well, they're not equal, but they're opposite forces. So our engine would cancel out some of gravity, assuming we have a low enough throttle that we're not accelerating away from Earth. We could use that on our descent mode. I just don't have enough mental capacity right now to figure out how to weasel it in there. Instead, we figured out, we definitely solved the problem where we're coming down and then magically we're going back up. This prevents that. If we start going back up, it will immediately stop accelerating. And the only thing that could happen is that we would start to come back down. And I hope we would, considering our speed is too high. If our speed is too high, or this would permanently fix it, or ship vertical speed is greater than 1, because we already have to be in descent mode for this to activate. Let's see what that does. Save. And now, run the bastard. Go for it. Could it work? Fingers crossed. That's what I'm trying. You had more people in the beginning? I did, Stevie-O. I had a bunch of people in the beginning. I had like 5 or 6 people jump in here immediately, and then they all ditched out after they realized I wasn't going to do what they wanted me to. But that's fine. Throttle control acted funky there. Or, no, it didn't. I think it was just... No, it's definitely acting funky. Weird. I think we're in stage 1 still. I think it might have copied it Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that problem. Well, we're in a descent mode, so it should come down for a descent. Is it gonna land without a problem? No, it is not. Okay, so let's put this where it's set. Stage equal 2, 3, because that's where that problem just came from. Hey, it still shut down somehow. Is it? Nice. Can we do a third launch? Will it do a third launch? I just saved it, right? I did not. Save it. Oh, I did. It was just not long enough ago. Okay, cool. Now, run Grasshopper. Does it work 3 times in a row? Let me guess. Sandbox mode? Indeed. We could be doing this in our career, but I just didn't want to. Weird. That still didn't fix it. Okay, something's going on with the slowdown procedure. Why is it trying to slow us down so early? Oh! I think I know what's happening. I think I know what's happening. It's because we weigh so much less, it doesn't know what to do with itself. Oh, is it going to be able to bring it? No, there's no way it can bring itself down. It's pulling like 2 Gs of acceleration. It can't bring its throttle down enough. Okay, so we do want to have acceleration control. I love that we're pulling like 11 meters per second of acceleration. How? That's not how physics works. You should have broken. I have indestructible legs. Okay. Yeah, we really need to change this, because it's not controlling our throttle well enough. Specifically, it doesn't know what the hell to do whenever we are coming down and our acceleration is at a stupid level. So we actually do need acceleration in this final stage, this landing stage. It's kind of interesting. Acceleration 95? How? What? There's no way we could have... That's... I feel like that's not correct. For some reason, I feel like that's not correct. How should we fix this? I feel like there should be something easy to do, but at the same time, I kind of want to move on from it. Acceleration check. I'm tempted. I'm really tempted to start work on the Falcon project. But I don't know how bad it would be. We are an hour and 43 minutes in. I'm kind of not losing hope on this vehicle. I'm just losing determination to figure out exactly what our acceleration problem is. Slowing down is whenever we kicked on the engines, and then 11, I guess, is when our first bounce happened, and then 95 is whenever we exploded away. It's very interesting. Let me relaunch this thing. We have long since moved on from not being able to program. It's just a matter of getting the programs to work right, because there are so many runtime errors because I'm not thinking about it correctly. Let me switch to 0 run Grasshopper. Now, what does it do with our throttle? How does the acceleration come in? Where is it having a problem here? Acceleration maxed. Okay, so there's no issue. Going all the way up. It's good. It's keeping the speed relatively well. We really need to fix that throttle, though. It needs to work better than it is. Wonder if we should just do a hard, like, conditional statement, or I don't know. Slowing down for hover. And it comes back down. Interesting. It's doing really well. Like, this is exactly what I'd want it to do. That was a little bit harsh of a landing, and its speed limit should have been set before that. For some reason, its speed limit was still too high. It should have been trying to slow down to 5 meters per second, I believe. Weird. There's a lot of little issues. Oh, I might have not saved that. Let me edit Grasshopper. The thing works well. That's why I'm kind of losing motivation to solve it, because it's little bitty tweaks that we're just basically trying to make this thing work perfect. And I'm a major advocate for perfection whenever you're selling your programs, but I'm not selling my programs. Done hovering? No. Further landing. There we go. Set throttle to 0, set speed limit to 4. Yeah, that should... How does it know that it's landing, though? Oh, that must be out of its loop. If... No, that's definitely still in the loop. That's interesting. Okay, so this landing is not supposed to be in here. Flying move. If stage 1 and altitude... No. Wasn't seeing the if statement. If stage 1 and altitude is less than start plus 35, that's exactly where I want it. Speed limit 4. Why doesn't that get set then? Because it does do the ship landed. It checks that perfectly. I think this should be a second if statement. Hello, Daddy. That's a weird thing to say, but hello. And I do see you. Well, it's a weird first thing to say. Usually you say, hello, how are you? Should I put that in an if statement for its own? Yeah, might as well. If speed limit, I don't think does not equal work, is greater than 4. That's just a good way of doing it. Set this. And we're golden. I don't have to worry about that. Speed limit should be getting set then. For some reason it just doesn't like it. What happens if I launch it the second time? Because last time we were having weird issues as we ran it multiple times. What happens this time around? Well, besides the staging. Does it keep the speed right? Kind of. Okay, so it has a significant problem with... Yep. It has a significant problem with keeping that speed proper. I need to change... our acceleration. If it's less than, say 5, because 10 is too much, because it starts to freak the fuck out. Is it gonna land itself? I'd be astounded. Oh, it doesn't want to. It's gonna slam it on the ground again. Because it just doesn't quite understand it. Now, we don't want it to, we don't want it to keep slowing down whenever our acceleration is, low or close to 0. I'm so glad that worked. But that's where we're having an issue, too, is it's slowing down too fast and speeding up too much whenever it's coming down for a landing, which we fix on our ascent with acceleration under certain levels. I think I'm going to put the acceleration back in there, but I don't know if it's a good idea. Let's do, and Excel is, this is whenever we're speeding up, aka bringing our throttle down because we're descending. We want our acceleration to be under a certain level. You're gonna go grab food? Go for it, man. We want our acceleration really on... yeah, it would be dropping. We want our acceleration to be lower than 2. Less than 2. Maybe 5, because that's what we have it going up. So let's have the same coming down. Less than 5. And then we want, so we'll be pulling about half a G in descent, so we'll accelerate at like 4.8 meters per second, theoretically. No, that's still too much if I'm thinking about it. If our speed limit is so low, we'd want to keep that closer to like 2. Yeah, that's fine. We'll keep it at 2. And then up here, we would want to add a speed limit or an acceleration. And Excel, this is for slowing down. Actually, let's leave that one off, because if we're slowing down, that's fine. We'll just see what that does. Does that change it a little bit? Possibly. I'll work from here and see what happens. Run Grasshopper. Probably didn't save it. It's still probably going to explode. You just had chicken? Nice. Oh, that was weird. Why is it slowing down? Oh, because we're pulling way, we're going too fast. What are you doing? Okay, so we need a shortcut for our acceleration. It didn't like that. Interesting. Let me cancel that. Speeding up. We're having so many weird issues. Give me a second. I wanna go check something. I'm looking through examples here, and I don't think, because it's such detailed math that I'm not understanding properly. I'm brute forcing this, unfortunately, and I shouldn't be. Goodness gracious. These people have converted insane mathematical algorithms into Kerbal Space Program. That is not what I am trying to do. Holy bejesus. Okay. Though it perfectly makes sense, because that's kind of what, yeah. Revert to launch. I'm starting to think that I might be fighting a losing battle here with this code, because I'm working from a route that I don't think was programmed very well. I think my first attempt at this was kind of a failure, which is why I almost want to go on to the Falcon. I'm tempted. We could always come back to the Grasshopper, but it's either that or we have to start a new program, because there's just... I'm making base assumptions that our first program was good, and I don't think it was. I think it just happened to work for this vehicle when it's full of fuel. Whenever it runs out of fuel, I think it would have started doing the exact same thing that it's doing now, where it can't control its thrust and it doesn't know how the hell to control its speed. We really need to get a throttle control, which I did not think would be the hardest part of this stream. Go figure. We really need to get a throttle control that works properly. It needs to take into account how fast we're going, how fast we're accelerating, if we're decelerating at a decent rate. It needs to be proportional. It needs to be like, hey, it's gonna take 5 seconds to hit our speed that we need, so let's slowly bring our throttle down over that time because we're gonna be at our speed. It's just I don't know how to do that, because I'd have to think about this more logically and write it down in a notebook and actually work this program out. And I haven't done that yet. I kind of did on the first stream, and I've got little notes here, but I don't know. We did good. We did really good getting the acceleration. Switch to 0. Edit Grasshopper. Apparently I misspelled something. Oop, yep. But the fact that we have acceleration numbers is great. Those we can use to our advantage. I just don't know then where we should set our throttle. Let's see here. See, I have speed checks. I have a very complicated, like this, if I can expand it even more. This stuff is ridiculous. Like, it's a little much, if I'm being honest. Set speed limit to 5. That's, yeah, that's how that's supposed to work. Wait, speed limit to 5. What? If altitude is greater than... What? Why is that there? Greater than max A plus 20 and stage equals 3. Set speed... That is very antiquated. And that shouldn't even be there. I don't know why that's... How is that working? We should have been at 10 meters per second the whole time. Oh, it's weird. Okay. I think this throttle 1.0 is also being a problem. We don't need that. How should I redo this? It's so much math. But it's... The worst part is, I know it's a problem because whenever it starts looking like this, you're brute forcing code. Code is just like mathematical problems. Once you have the correct version of it, it's probably very small and efficient. And this is sure as hell not small and efficient. What we need to do is have a single if and else statement. Maybe not even an if and else statement. Just something to adjust our throttle directly in proportion to our acceleration and our speed. If our speed is too high, by how much is it too high? Let's say, is it double the speed it's supposed to be? Let's bring our throttle down by half. Proportions like that. I just need to figure out what the proportions are. And that's what the first two people in this stream, I can't quite remember their names now, unfortunately. I apologize, I would have gave them a shout out. That's why they were trying to get me to do the PID loops, because it's the way those things were written is to proportionally change your throttle to what it should be. Basically how you do it when you're using your joystick or control and shift. You realize you're coming up to your speed, so you start throttling down a little bit, and vice versa. Still not flying? Nick, we've flown. Wow, you're about to make me have fly. We've flown so many fucking times in this stream. Feel like you're really not that bright, man. I swear. Like, everything you said so far. How should we get this throttle to be in proportion? Obviously, if we're going too fast, so it will be an if and else statement. I'm going to start writing this down so I can figure it out almost like a flowchart. So we have an if and else. If we're going too fast, we want to bring our throttle down in proportion to how fast we're going. We want to bring our throttle down until we are actually slowing down. Dusty, hey, what's up, man? You were just about to mention PID? Yeah, see, I've been trying to reinvent the wheel because I am, swear to God, I am not going to go copy code. I am not going to go walk in, good job. I'm not going to go over to the KOS site and copy their PID code. That's fucked up. I would much rather write my own. Even if it's a lot less efficient, even if it sucks, I want to reinvent the wheel in a sense that I have created this program. I've done everything else from scratch. I want to try to do it from scratch. So, if we're going too fast, we want to bring our throttle down. Actually, that's not correct at all. Let's program as if we were a human. The way we look at it is we look at the speed. If we're approaching our speed, I'm writing this down, approaching speed, or if we are over our speed, we want to slow down. Is this for in-atmosphere related to max Q? This is actually all just, actually it hasn't been launched yet. I'll show you. I don't know if you've seen this run before. We wrote this from scratch. It's an attempt of making the Grasshopper from SpaceX. It's their first vehicle that they launched into, not necessarily space, but to test their launch up and come back down. It works fairly well the first time, but it doesn't work after that because we need fuel. Oh shit, fuel was burning off the entire time we were doing that. I'll be amazed if this thing works. You half-assed some PID hover controllers from scratch once in KOS? That's exactly what I want to do, man. I want to rebuild all of the Falcon stuff. The Falcon 9, the Falcon Heavy, the Grasshopper that came before it. Get all of that done. So this is the Grasshopper. This goes up to 325 meters plus the height of the vehicle. And then it slows down and it starts to hover. It's now in hover mode, even though it doesn't technically hover. It then comes back down. And it lands itself, theoretically. I don't know if it will work because that's what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to rewrite this speed check algorithm. This is exactly where we're having problems. Is we are going up right now and it's not decelerating. Like we have some serious bugs in this code, and it's because I'm brute forcing the code. So you smoke? My God. I think I'm going to stop reading your comments, Nick. Because you make me facepalm literally every fucking time I read your comment. Okay. Intellectual conversation is always great. That's no shit, man. You've watched most of the old Grasshopper tests? Nice. This one, believe it or not, when it's not doing this shit, it does work. We've made it work multiple times. I made it, I didn't even know this programming language at the beginning of the last stream. I learned the whole thing. We wrote this program from scratch, and we made it where it takes off, comes back down, and it lands just fine. But our throttle control is fucked up, because if we launch it, for instance, that second time, even though it wasn't a second time as far as I'm aware, the fuel had burned off, and we were no longer able to go. There's a lot of bugs with this code, and I need to figure it out before I move on to the Falcon, because I am creating more problems if I move on to the Falcon. Switch to 0, edit Grasshopper. Bam. Okay. The main thing that I'm trying to fix, if it's even going to take this whole stream, it's fine with me. We've got to rewrite and fix this stuff. Oops. I went a little bit too far down there. This stuff. Because it is, first off, it's checking based on our stage. That's a little bit unnecessary. It shouldn't really care about our stage. I take that back. It wants to care about our stage, but really just in a sense of if we're going up or down. There'd be an if or else statement inside our other statements. We wouldn't want it broken down like this. It's too redundant. We want to have it check if we are approaching our speed to bring our speed down. If we are over speed, obviously we want it to bring our speed down. Those are really the only two options. I can't see anything else. Hovering doesn't really matter because hover has its own protocols that we'll figure out on a later date. How do we keep our speed going the correct way? It looks like you've not adjusted throttle in accordance to the lessening weight as you burn fuel. Yep, that's exactly it, Dusty. It works the first try around, but the moment you lose weight from fuel, it can't adjust throttle fast enough because we have such a fine-tuned throttle control. It throttles all the way up, and if we're at 100% throttle, we'll go from 0 to 30 meters per second in a few seconds, and it can't handle that. It tries to slowly bring the throttle down, and it doesn't know what to do. I'm so mean to you? Dude, you, like... I apologize to a degree and not at the same time because Jesus, I have a serious problem. Like, I give everyone respect whenever they show up, but if the first thing that comes out of your mouth is a facepalm moment and then you proceed through the next 5 comments to make 5 other facepalm moments, I start to lose respect for you. It kind of happens. What do we need to do to get our throttle? I need to come up with an equation here. We need to have our throttle adjusted directly in proportion to our speed. Let's say, oh man, I wonder if we could, I'm curious. What if we could just change this? This may not work. I'm pretty sure it'd be times. What do I want this to be? It'd be a percentage. What do I want the percentage to be? The throttle in percentage to our acceleration, maybe? No. Yes. I'm trying to think. This is where the equation comes in. How do we want to adjust throttle? Because we need that 0.01 to adjust in accordance to how much G-force we're accelerating at. If we're accelerating too fast, we want it to come down. And the limit is already set to 0.02. Let's say... Let's do acceleration divided by 10. Because, well, I could do 9.8, but we'll do 10. And we'll see what this does. This may be a complete failure, but I'm wondering if this may solve our throttling problem. We're going to have to launch it twice. If this works. That's a big if. Run Grasshopper. You want throttle based on TWR, so if you want to set your throttle to achieve thrust to weight ratio. Oh, yeah. For some reason, my brain couldn't understand thrust to weight ratio. We are getting off the ground. It's still trying to speed up, which is good. Now, how much does that throttle descend and change based on us? Oh, man, it barely moves. It doesn't move at all enough. Okay, so we'd want acceleration. Shit. For hovering, it works just fine. What about coming back down? Throttle comes up with really fine control. I think I want to bring that 10 down to maybe like a 5 or so. Oh, what a hard bounce. Oh, what a... And it's going back up. Okay, so let me adjust that. Revert flight. Oh, that was wrong. Thank you, Stevio. I was about to do that on my own. Let me open up Kerbal OS documentation. It's been a while. You want throttle based on TWR, so if you set throttle to achieve TWR equals 1.5. How do you find TWR? Is that a variable? Am I stupid? Is that a variable I can use? Oh, I feel so dumb. If that's a thing, I'm gonna facepalm so hard. KOS documentation, popping it up. Language. Variables. Do we have thrust to weight? I'll be so pissed. Declare. No. Let me know if that's a thing, Dusty. And I appreciate you being here, because you're helping me out. Let's go back to the launch pad so that I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. If I bring that down, let's just say I bring it down to... I shouldn't be guessing on these numbers. If I'm using acceleration, this is how much we're changing in meters per second. 1 meter per second, 2 meters per second, 3 meters per second. How much it's actively changing. I probably don't need to change or divide by 10. Yeah, let me try something. Let me switch to 0. What happens if we just do it without the dividing? Or better yet, just divide by 1, because I might want to divide it later. I know that sounds weird, but it's just, I might want to change it up later. Acceleration 10. Oh man, this is going to be a pain to go through each one of these. 10 and 10. What happens now? Test flight. That's what you want to look up. There are a lot of variables you can read. Yeah, see, that's what I have. I have a bunch of variables popped up on my phone from yesterday, but I did not know that thrust to weight was one of them, and I don't think it is, because I would have used that. Oh, it's working to a degree. Now it's hovering, aka bringing it down to a fall because it doesn't understand how to hover. I still need to fix that. Oh, nice! Look at that throttle response, though. Now it's acting funky. What is it doing? Why did it do that? It's hovering somewhere else for some reason. Why are you hovering? What are you doing? That's a very awesome hover you've got going on. But that's definitely not what should be happening. Okay, so this is occurring because our acceleration is so low. I wonder if I want to put it in inverse with the acceleration. How would I do that, and what would it cause as a change? I'm curious. Let's do that. Let me have it as the inverse of acceleration. Let's say 1 divided by acceleration. And let's see what that changes on bringing it up and down. I would be amazed if this thing came down and landed. I would be amazed. But I'm curious to see how this would change it up. If only you could learn math like this in school. Save. It's still trying to bring it down, but because we're using fuel at a rate faster than it can bring it down, it doesn't quite... It's not able to. It's trying so hard, though. Let's go to revert flight to launch. But that's what I have on my acceleration, Dusty. And that's why I set it to, Oh, maybe we would want it as the Oh, shit, I'm gonna test that first. Maybe we want it as the inverse, because acceleration, if you divide acceleration by 9.8, you'll get your g-force, I believe. Because g-force is, let's say I'm standing here, I'm holding, like, the rocket is sitting there. It has not necessarily 1g, but just below it, 9.8 meters per second of acceleration of downward force due to gravity. Now, theoretically, we pull 2 g's whenever we're accelerating in the opposite direction. Let's say we're going 10 meters per second upwards. We have to be fighting gravity, which is 9.8 meters per second, plus that 10 meters per second upwards of acceleration. So really, we have an acceleration of 20 meters per second. I have a feeling that we can use our acceleration, divide it by 10, cough, cough, gravity, because I'm not going to use 9.8. We can divide, you know what, screw it, I'll use 9.8. We divide it by gravity, and then we use the inverse. Let's use 1, and let's see what the hell happens. Well, if there isn't, there can be that's exactly it. It can be calculated. But I'm doing it in a weirder way. Let's switch to which project? Which to 0 edit Grasshopper. Okay, well, I should always test this one first, right? Screw it. Run Grasshopper. I don't think this is gonna work. This is just the inverse. We'd want the inverse divided by 10, I believe. This might work, but I think it's gonna work too well, if that makes sense. It's gonna be just as jerky as the other throttle control was. Yep, it's actually a little bit more jerky than the other throttle control was. All right, I'm figuring it out. Slowly but surely, I'm figuring it out. Acceleration. You program like Really, I don't program like that whenever I'm programming in real life, but I have to program like that in Kerbal operating system because I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so we're done hovering. Is it going to come down and land itself? No. It's trying to, but no. Oh, that was great. Okay. Okay, cool. Spontaneous explosion at the end there. So it did not know how to bring itself down in speed there. Now, why is that? Our acceleration was at 2. 1 divided... Ah, it's the 1 divided by 2. I wonder what happens if I just keep it, like, I don't know if I've tried this yet. What happens if I just do acceleration? It's going to become, like, super jerky, right? I think I've tried acceleration divided by something, but I don't think I've tried acceleration alone. What's it going to do? If I knew more about the physics and everything behind on how this stuff works, I'd be programming in a much more refined manner, but I'm an idiot. I don't know anything about rocket science. And I'm literally programming rockets to go into space. Switch to 0, run Grasshopper. What does it do? It should be insanely jerky, like the throttle will go crazy. Speed, no, nope. It's doing good keeping the speed this time around. I'm surprised. Oh, I think we did try this. This is the one that it got to the ground and then it had some issues because it over-accelerated once it got closer to the ground, and it didn't understand how to stop itself because it went too far back up. Right here. Yep, this is exactly what happened last time. Is it still going to be able to land itself, though? Nope. It can't bring the throttle down enough. Okay, so we really need to rethink the way I'm doing this rather than just trial and error. I need to rethink the way I'm doing this because I keep just brute forcing it. Revert flight, revert to launch. Yeah, I thought the last one would have been the one that it was. Let me try something. Edit. Oops. I really wish it would just automatically start on the archive, but edit Grasshopper. Let me do exactly what I was planning on doing and just see what it does. Last trial and error, I swear. And I'm also going to smoke a bowl soon. Buck Wild, are you down? Do you want to smoke with me, man? Just going down here. It's kind of funny. I don't know if you know this, Buck Wild. I don't think you were here, but it was I think before you got here yesterday, or the last time I streamed Zelda. Somebody showed up, saw that you were in chat, and immediately was just like, "Hello, Stoned and Buck Wild." It's like they thought we were a freaking pair or something. Thought that was freaking hilarious. I think you're the first one who's ever been thought of being like a part of the channel because you're here so quick and so often. First time somebody's ever mistaken a viewer as a part of the channel. That's kind of great, man. Where should I change this? I think I'm gonna do exactly what I was planning on doing. Like I said, my last trial and error. What I was gonna do was acceleration divided by 9.8. This gives us approximately what our g-force is, up or down. Really, do we even need that? Yeah. That'd be our G-force. And now what we'd want to do is have that 1 divided by so many parentheses, like that. Hey, what's up, Matt? 'Twas me, you guys rock. Well, I appreciate you being here, Matt. Copy. We're just gonna see what this does. I don't know why my brain wants me to do this. But, you know what, screw it. Maybe my subconscious is smarter than I am, which has happened quite often. So let's go save. Will this even compile, first off? Because I think I might have too many parentheses in there. No, that's correct. Let's just run the Grasshopper and see what the hell happens. Run Grasshopper. Last trial and error, I swear, and then I'll actually think about this. Really, I just need to come up with an equation that works. It's good that it's still trying to accelerate. Now, how is it going to handle once we get to 10 meters per second? How jerky is the throttle response? Does it work at all? Oh my god, it's jerky. Well, that's not how that was supposed to work. Okay, I need to just rethink this. Revert to launch, that's hilarious. After being gone for a good hour or so, you took the liberty of testing my personal script works fine with smaller crafts? Well, cool. I'm glad it works. Feel free to edit it and make it a lot better than it currently is, because my scripts suck. I just learned how to do this yesterday. Or not yesterday, the day before. Switch. I think the best one we've had so far is just 1 divided by acceleration, but I don't know if we want to stick with that. I need to logically think this out. Edit Grasshopper. This is where I'd normally take a pen and a big pad of paper and start writing out what I want something to do, everything I want it to do, and how it's supposed to do it. And I turn it into a flow chart so that I can then turn that flow chart into a program. But I'm not certain on how the fuck I'm supposed to do this one, because it's a lot of thrust weight calculations that I'm too stupid to do. The thrust weight calculation is kilonewtons divided by mass times 9.8. Yeah. There's gotta be a way to figure out from acceleration, because I've already got my acceleration down. I know how fast I'm going. Let's say up or down. If we go all the way up into the air and come down as a free fall, my acceleration is going to show 9.8, I hope. But I don't know, well, technically air drag, I don't know if how that works. In a perfect vacuum, I think it's 9.8, but with air drag, is it less? Also, that comes in, like, terminal velocity equations come into effect, like, depending on, I'm not, fuck that shit, I don't know enough, I'm speaking out my ass. Okay, how the hell are we gonna get this to happen? We want our thrust, or our throttle, to keep us at exactly, let's say 1G or 2Gs of acceleration. Really, we want to have 1G. Oh. See, there's a problem. We don't want G-force. Not necessarily. Because if we come falling back to Earth, that's G-force. We want pure acceleration. Like, we could go 0G, and we don't want that. We just want acceleration numbers. Okay, so we want to set our throttle. Thank God we have acceleration numbers. Based on our acceleration, but how do we want to set it based off that acceleration? If we are accelerating, and we want to slow down... and we want to slow down, we need to bring the throttle down, obviously. Now, if we are stable, really anything accelerating or stable, we want it to bring the throttle down. But if we're decelerating, we really don't want to worry about bringing the throttle down anymore. Or if we do, we want to do in very small increments. Which, let's see, if we're already coming down... See, that's where we're having an issue. Because my acceleration is always going to be positive. We want it to have a positive or negative factor in this. Okay. So that's where my issue is. I knew there's something that's a base problem here. My acceleration right now, we're using the absolute value of it, which works for getting up and down one time. It doesn't work whenever we're trying to set it in proportion to our thrust weight and everything else. This only works because we're taking our speed, waiting a second. I did this at the very beginning. We're getting our acceleration, which works perfectly. But then we're definitely not bringing our throttle down correctly or bringing it up correctly. We're not taking that into effect. If we're going, let's say, our G-force is already high. We don't want to... Man, there's so many fucking equations. I literally have to write out like a 50-page... Or not a 50-page. Like a single printer page with like 50 options on it to figure out exactly what we want as this equation. And it's going to end up being something stupid simple. Because that's how it's going to always work. It's going to be some compound, really stupid simple equation. You can use available thrust to get the max thrust available. Then take the current thrust, or current mass, and calculate thrust to weight. You need to scale the throttle according to max thrust. Rocket science, you bitch! Yes, indeedy. Oh, I'm looking at this wrong, too. I don't need to set it in proportion to that. I need to set the increments in proportion. That's how I've been using this. How would the increments be in proportion? Let's say if I'm coming back down, looking straight at my code and it's just breaking my brain. Anytime you have a block of code like that, you're usually brute forcing, like I've said multiple times. 1 divided by acceleration divided by 9.8. Where the fuck did my brain get that from? I have no idea. I'm glad it didn't work, because if it did, that would have been the weirdest thing in the world. Anybody got an idea? Dusty, you've got a good one. You can use available thrust, but I don't... I feel like I can do this with the acceleration unit. I know there's a way to do it with the acceleration unit, and that's what's bugging the absolute fucking shit out of me. Because we've got an acceleration unit. Either we're going upwards or downwards. Yay, brute force! We've got the acceleration unit that's telling us constantly what we're doing, and we can use acceleration to figure out G-force. And with G-force, we know if we're going up or down. Like, we can figure out thrust to weight through our acceleration. I know we can. I just don't know how, because I'm an idiot. And that's where this problem's coming from. I don't know what level we're going to set our thrust to. Oh, I have an idea. I do have an idea. The reason this isn't working is we want to set the throttle in direct proportion to our acceleration. I'm an idiot. How would I get that to be at 100% throttle then? We want it to be at a 0 to 100%. And then just straight up set it to throttle. Now, how are we going to set that to 0 to 100? We need to set our acceleration. If it's under 1, we'd want it to be really high. If it's close to 2 Gs, we'd want it to be lower. Interesting. You're at work, so you can't focus on this as much. It's cool, Dusty. Trust me. It's cool, man. I think you just opened my brain to it. You feel so bad, you just add some comedy to the chat sometimes and you know nothing about pro. It's all good, Matt. It is all good, man. I appreciate you being here. I really do. Liven up chat as much as you want, man. Okay, so if we're accelerating, let's say we're accelerating at 1. Let's just make this easy. Let's say we're accelerating at 1. That means technically we're accelerating at 9.8. Oh, we'd have to know if we're going up or down. Interesting. No, if it's under 1, then we're probably not accelerating. We can use that as a safe assumption, because if it's under 1, we're probably coming back down towards Earth. So let's say if it's under 1, we want it to equal 100%. And if it's greater than or equals to 2, I should say less than or equal to 1. If it's greater than or equals to 2, we want to have that throttle brought down all the way to, let's say, 10%, or yeah, 10%, because you never really want to have too low a throttle. Now, how do we do that? We have a 90% change. We have acceleration. We'd want it 90 divided by something to do with our acceleration. Acceleration would be 1 to 2. No, that's 90 is on the bottom. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Something times 90. I'm working out this equation. Hold on. It'd be something times 90 divided by 90. And I believe we're going to want our acceleration times 90, because between 1 and 2, but how do I want that to be set up? Acceleration can be below 1, which is not great. And it can be greater than or equal to 2. So let's say plus 1 to our I'm trying to think here. How do I want? I'm trying to work backwards. I've got the 90 over 90 part. I've got that down. I've got our percentage down. Now I just need to figure out what to multiply our acceleration by. Our multiply, plus, minus, divide. However, I need to figure out to proportion our acceleration to our throttle. I'm close. You were told that you might like AutoCAD by one of your buddies, then you looked at the price. Matt, if you want to try AutoCAD out for free, try Google SketchUp. It's a free program. You can buy the pro version. I think it's like 20 bucks. If you want to, go for it, because it has a lot of modeling and coloring and CAD software that comes with it. But there's a free version that you can use endlessly, and it is great. I much recommend it. Okay, so back to the thing at hand. 30. Our acceleration is going to be something like under a G of force. Oh, wait, no. We're under a single G of force. How is that even possible? Shouldn't we be, like, hitting the ground and, like, shouldn't we be under a single G of force? Okay, I'm just going to claim that we're out of G of force. We want to be between 1 and 2, and we will be less than 2. I guess whatever the absolute value... No. Somewhere along that lines, but we want to make sure, because it can be way over 2. We could be pulling 15 Gs of acceleration. That's terrible. We don't want to be doing that. We could be pulling 15 Gs of acceleration, so how do I make sure that it's between 1 and 2 and adjust throttle accordingly? This is such a fucking hard one. +1 for SketchUp? Nice. It is an amazing program. I know I'm close. I'm on the cusp of understanding rocket technology. And by that, I mean I'm not going to even get close. But, if I know we have to set it directly. I just don't know how. It'd be based on our acceleration and how we're doing. If we're if we're over speed, how much are we over speed? Bring our throttle down. But I don't know if that's going to work properly anymore. I think we'd have to rewrite the entire block of code, and at that point, I don't know if we can do that in this stream, because it's going to be a pain in the ass. Once again, High Rock, well, no problem. I definitely don't like the smoke being blown up my ass, because I don't believe I deserve it, but hopefully you can have fun, and it definitely gets you where you want to go. I've done everything from game modeling on that to 3D modeling using 3D printers to, I mean, character design. There's so much stuff that SketchUp works with. It is great. And you can export it to almost every single form of CAD software. So if you're trying to use it for 3D printers or laser engravers or anything like that, it will work, which is great. Most of those programs all require like special kinds of files, and it will export to the vast majority of them. And I think there's even a plugin set up now where if it doesn't export to the type that you want, somebody has probably made the program to do it. Smoom! Indeed, Buckwild, indeed. That's where available thrust comes in. That maps directly to 100% throttle. Just divide mass by divide by mass times 9.8 to get thrust to weight. Goodness gracious, man. Right as I smoke a bowl. Like, I feel that wave hit me over, and I'm like, I'm trying to understand a math equation as I'm getting way too baked. Alright. It maps directly to 100%. Hello, Six God. What game is this? This is Kerbal Space Program. You probably will not want to watch it if you've never seen this before, because I am doing a highly technical, highly boring stream today. But I appreciate you dropping by. Just divide by mass times 9.8 to get thrust to weight divided by acceleration. Man, for some reason my brain is not grabbing onto that and not understanding it. I guess it'd be available thrust divided by mass times 9.8 is what you're saying? What in the hell are you talking about, Seagull? What? Okay. Let's see here. Feel like that you're on the verge of being banned on your first sentence. That's weird. How should we do this? I know it's something to do with our 90% throttle adjustment. I've just got to think this through properly, and of course I just smoked a bowl, so it's going to make it harder. Acceleration is going to be something like 0 to a who knows what number. The higher it is, the lower we want this to be. So let's say 1 divided by our acceleration. I just want to see what happens. This is going to be a hell of an equation, but I just want to see how the rocket reacts to it. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work, right? And I can accept that. Now, this would be 1 divided by acceleration, which is what we've done before. That's no different. However, we're then going to take that and times it by 90, and then divide that by 90 to get a 90% adjustable unit. I'm gonna have to figure out all of my parentheses here in a second, which is fine. Times 90 divided by 90 plus 10. And just set that there. This is gonna be probably the weirdest thing I've ever done, but it's okay. I want to see what it does, because this is going to act really damn funky. And before I completely get rid of this, I'm going to comment out a line and make sure that we have this backed up. So worst case scenario, we can be like, yeah, let's revert that, because this is going to act weird. I have a feeling this isn't going to work at all, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. So let's take this set throttle. Let's copy it. It is going to be interesting to watch this. I'm on... well, I'm on weed. I'm on to something here, but I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to formulate it. I'm not there. This isn't it. I know that. This is not going to work, and I just want to see what the hell it does do. We have 2 open parentheses and 3 closed parentheses. Shit, so I need to add another one. Well, that's about to have a lot of compile errors. 3, 3, 3. And let's see what the hell happens. This is going to be interesting. Everyone prepared for some uniqueness? Oh, it didn't like it. What does it not like? Unexpected... Ooh. Did I have too many of them? No, I didn't have enough of them. Goodness me. You think I added enough of these things? Alright, let's add in more, I guess. That's kind of funny. Save. What does it do? Well, it's accelerating still. That's unique. What does it do when it tries to slow down? It doesn't know how to slow down. So our acceleration is so low that it doesn't know how to slow down. Interesting. So I still need to set the speed in accordance to our done hovering, done. Wait, what is it gonna do now? Nope, throttle 100%. Yeah, that doesn't work. It takes off and it kind of hovers. I knew that wasn't gonna work, but it's, yeah. Hordes, you're good, Matt. Don't worry about it, man. Dusty, I understand how thrust to weight works, but my brain is just too fucking stupid right now. Revert to launch to figure it out in the equation itself. This is why I'm not a rocket scientist, because fuck a whole bunch of that shit. Alright, now let's go back to Kerbal OS. At least we have launches. At full tank, 1 G of acceleration hover is 50% throttle. After burning 1 ton of fuel, 1 G of hover will be 40% throttle. I assume you're talking about 100 tons thrust to weight. It's all good, man. I understand how that works. I understand how it's in proportion. As we burn fuel, our thrust goes up. I understand all of that. Trust me. That's not the problem I'm having. The problem I'm having is using acceleration and converting acceleration into a direct throttle control. A dynamic throttle control for what we want. And I am way too fucking stupid right now to do it. I don't know if it's because I still haven't caught up on sleep yet, or if I'm just honestly too stupid to be thinking about rocket science while I'm stoned, and that's entirely possible. I'm a good programmer for other things, but not for this, because I've never attempted it before. Now, we want to adjust throttle, obviously, from 10 to 100%. That's where my 90 over 90, or times 90 over 90 came in. But it's not working in this sense because my acceleration was low. The 1 divided by our acceleration made no sense. I'm wondering how You know, our acceleration, I think I should always add, like right now, if I looked at our acceleration, it would be 0. But technically it's supposed to be 9.8. I think I need to add 9.8 to it. Hold on. This is going to be interesting. Let me... I'm not going to change that stupid code that I put in there at all. I'm just going to see if I can add 9.8. It's going to change that 1 over... It's going to change that a lot. Interesting. Hold on. If we have 9.8 added to it at all times, that means it's always going to be something like, well, it'd be 9.8 or higher. So we'd want to bring down 90% in proportion to 9.8 or higher. If it's over 9.8, let's say if it's 18, we'd want to bring throttle down. No. If it's 18, that's fine. If it gets even higher than that, so we're going to have to go for 18. Let's just say G and a half of acceleration. So let's say 9.8 times 1.5, 9.8 times 1.5. I'm once again too stupid. That's 4.5 plus 4, so it'd be 4.9. Added to that would be 14.7, something like that. I'll just use 14.7, though I don't think that's correct. My brain is rebelling. Yeah, no, that's correct. For some reason, my brain just doesn't want it. All right, 14.7. Now that's our maximum acceleration that we want. So we'd want to bring our speed down in proportion to that. How do I want to do this? Trying to think. So bad for a stoner. Will it go up? Will it land? Will Stoned ever get this figured out? Only time will tell. Very true, Buckwild. Very, very true. That's why I have the warning at the bottom of the screen. This is going to be very boring. And if it works, I'm going to be freaking out for the last like 10 minutes of the stream, and then that'll be it. It'll be like 3 hours of me going, and then when it works, it'll be like, yeah, and then it's over. Talk about climactic. 14.7 is about our max acceleration that I want. So I'd want to bring it down in proportion to over to that. So it'd be be 9.8. Hold on, I'm trying to think here. Which is never a good idea, but I'm trying to think. Right now, we barely pull over a G whenever we're taking off at 100% throttle. Because we only accelerate at like 1 or 2 meters per second. Actually, we accelerate lower than that. We accelerate at like 0.5, and it almost gets up to 1.0 by the end of our flight. So during the max of this, we're only going to be running about 10 meters per second in acceleration, even with 100% throttle. So I have to make sure that 10 meters per second still gives us 100% throttle. The lower it is, the better. The higher it is, the lower. So we have to have it in proportion to 14, but I don't know if that's a good idea or not. No such thing as two stoned. It's smoom it up for you and contemplate on life. Oh man, I feel like I want to smoom with you, buddy. I feel like I want to. The mushroom cloud of THC. Well, Matt seems to be along the lines of doing it. Like explode. Well, it might explode. I'm on the brink of understanding how to do this. I just don't. As I know we're going to be getting a certain amount of acceleration. I just need to figure out how to write an equation that matches our acceleration to our throttle. And it's not too hard, it's just how to make my brain fucking understand it. Basically, at a minimum, we're going to be running 9.8 meters of meters per second of acceleration, because we're going to be adding it in. Let's say... trying to think exactly how I'd want this to work. I think it'd be at a percentage, but I don't. God damn! I can't get my I can't get my brain to wrap around how to make this equation work. I'm staring at a piece of paper and I have a bunch of stuff written down on it that you guys can't see. So I'm sorry for just staring at this screen for like 20 minutes. %+ plus 10 is fine. If our acceleration is going to be, let's say, if we're going 10 meters per second, we want to have 100% thrust. If we're going per second, with acceleration, we want 100% thrust. But if we're doing 14.7 meters per second, we'd want to bring our thrust down to a minimum of 10%. So I think that's where I'm having a problem. I'm trying to put our if statements into... Yeah, I'm trying to put our if statements into this equation, and I don't know if I should be doing that. That's where I should be keeping our acceleration, which is good, but how do I get the equation to get our acceleration between 10 and 14.7 meters per second? Really it'd be 9.8, but anything less than or anything greater than. How do I force that to work with an equation? Let's say number minus 0.7. What does that give me? I'm trying to think about absolute values here, and possibly it would work. If we're going 10, minus would be 4. But if I'm going, let's say 20, 6. Shit, so there's still going to be an issue there. I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's ABS. I'm so sorry for talking to myself, but there's no way of me doing this without it. What does that give me? If it's 10, it'd be 4.7. Lowest we could ever have would be something like 3. And the highest we could be is technically infinite. I think that's it. Okay, so I'd have to have that. And the lowest number we'd have is 3, and 3 would have to somehow equate to 10%. No. 3 would somehow have to equate to 100%. So ABS of 14.7 minus whatever our acceleration is, divided by over 3, or under 3, whatever, same thing. The exact opposite. So that'd be a lowest case scenario, that'd be 1 times whatever. Highest case scenario, it goes down low. What happens if we're going, let's say, 14 meters per second? That'd be... oh. That's a problem. We could theoretically have a divide by 0 situation. I can't have that as an equation. I'm working it out, you guys. I'm working it out. I wish I had, like, a camera that you guys could see what I'm doing. Oh, goodness me. Clean your ears, maybe. Yeah, if you can't hear it, you might want to refresh or something. So at this point, I've figured out that I'm going to be using 14.7, which is our max acceleration rate that I want, minus our acceleration. And then I probably want to do the absolute value of that so that it turns into a positive number, regardless what it is. And then the lowest that number can be is 3, and the highest that number can be is who knows. But that 3 we need to technically turn into our highest amount of throttle, which would be 100%, right? Yes. I'm trying to think how this would work. Acceleration is always going to be higher than a 9.8, so it's really our highest number is going to be like 5. Shit. But still, that's fine. 5. If I'm being specific, it's going to be... no, 4.9. I'm going to need that number. 4.9. Okay. So it'd be something like that minus 4.9 to get rid of my base that's always going to be there. That gives me, no matter what, right here, that would give me a number between 1 and something. 1 and probably like 10 to 20, because you're never going to pull a certain amount of G-forces, but 1 and something to bring our throttle down. If we're down at 1, we would want to bring our throttle up. Okay, I think I'm there. Minus 4.9. This would be... yeah, times not... yep, I think I got it. Let's see what this does. Now, I apologize once again for just talking my ass off while not doing anything. Let's do switch to 0. This is probably not going to work. I'll put it out there again. But we're going to try. So first things first. Our acceleration Now, we need plus 9.8. Cool. Because we're gonna add gravity into there. Now, because these are always going to be on Earth. As far as I'm aware, we're never going to take the Grasshopper or the Falcons off of Earth. They are supposed to land on Earth. So 9.8 will be a hard-coded number. With our acceleration, come on down here. I'm going to smoke with you in just a moment, Buckwild. We're going to test this, and then I'm going to smoke with you. Now, this monstrosity, I need to edit a little bit. It's very strange how I've got this set up, and I don't technically need this outer one, but it's, yeah, it's fine. I don't need this one, because it's just adding convolution. Now, inside there, I want to have no, hold on. I want to have 90 divided by this, right? If it's 2, hold on, no. If it's 2, what would the number be? Once again, just running this equation through my head multiple times to make sure it'll work. How would I get a 2 out of that anyways? I'd have to be... 9.8 would be a low number. Oh. That's actually going to be a problem. I can't do that because it would end up being negative. Damn it! I thought I was onto something. That equation's wrong. So close, but so far. Yay, Smoming. I think I'm going to Smom regardless. We didn't get a test out of this, but I'm going to Smom regardless. I know this is our problem. We've just got to get this figured out. And the best part is, I'll be streaming this tomorrow. So I have a feeling, even if I have an anticlimactic ending tonight, if we can't figure this out, what I'll do is I'll brainstorm over it while I'm not under pressure, and I can get properly stoned and just think about it. And we'll see if we can come up with a equation that's works. And I can start the next stream with it. Wow, that was interesting. I just threw a knife across the table. But the equation that I just got set up, it kind of works. It gives us a number between 1 and something, 1 to 10, 1 to 20, that is like the max. And at 1, we would want to have max throttle. Let me make sure. Yeah, at 9.8 minus 4. Oh. Oh. I think I figured out the problem there. First off, this is assuming we have infinite thrust, which is true / not. It'll probably become infinite, as in uncontrollable, in some of our larger engines, but I don't think that's going to happen now. So I think I should stop with that assumption. I should rewrite the equation. This is working... It's basically giving us a number that's a minimum thrust number, and then it doesn't give us a maximum thrust number. It's whatever is possible. That's the equation I just wrote, and it's not a good one because technically we have a maximum thrust, aka what Dusty has been trying to beat into my head. Use the available thrust number. Very interesting. No, play Zelda, please. Maybe. I don't know. It depends. I might not. I'm trying to think how I could end this stream, though, because I don't think I'm going to figure out this equation. You know what? We could end up building the Falcon 9. Just build it. And then we could call it quits on the stream there. But that's kind of a lame ending. I don't know. I know we can do this. I know we can. I just don't know how. The throttle control I had was terrible. Hey, what's up, Fun Bun? Welcome to the slowest stream I've ever done in my life, I think. I've been more contemplating equations out of the stream than I've done stuff in the stream, I'm pretty sure. Because at this point, I know we have to recode our entire throttle system, but I don't know how we're going to dynamically adjust our throttle yet. I've never had to think this through, and it is like short-circuiting my brain trying to figure out rocket science on the fly. Which, I mean, is to be expected. You definitely shouldn't be stoned trying to do rocket science. Let me smoke a bowl and we'll continue with this. Oh, goodness me. That was quite spicy, which means it's resiny as fuck. That's not good. Nasty. But I smoked it anyways. Alright. Well, because this has got me kind of stumped tonight, and I don't want to end the stream staring at this screen for hours. Let's exit. Sure, save it. It's not even going to compile right now, but that's fine. Actually, it might, but it'd be funky. Let's recover vessel. Just end the stream with death and fire. That's how you do it right there. What bud am I smoking? This is Diamond OG. It is really freaking good weed, but unfortunately my bong is a little dirty right now, and also is too fucking good in a sense that it burns weed too fast, and it makes it resiny as fuck. Alright, I need to buy a vaporizer or just a new bong. Let's create a new one. So, if we're going to try to make a Falcon 9 knockoff, let's try to do it as accurately as possible. First things first, we want our heavy command pod. This isn't great, but I'll take it. The Falcon 9 has gone through a couple of iterations, as you can see. And I guess we'll try to go for, we could always go for the last one, the satellite carrying version. I think I might do that, actually, because it's easier. We don't have to worry. God damn! Alrighty. Grab an OK-22 or something. Where are you at? Should be somewhere around here. RCS, there you go. My god, that thing is tiny. Now, I should probably take the image off. God damn, that made my sinuses act up too. I'm gonna start sniffling and sneezing and coughing, and oh my god, that was bad bull. Bad bull, bad bull. Alright. Battery packs, because why not? We need something for dummy weight, and battery packs work, sure. Work well enough for me. Jesus fuck. Alright. Are those not connected? No, they're connected. Where am I from? I am from Texas. Let's see here. Command and control, because we're going to want these on there later. It's not the right thing. There it is. Whoops. Grab you, put you there, grab you, put you there. And where are my fairings? Payload. Don't I have one that I can control a lot more? It's like the level 3 fairing or something? I think this is it. God damn! Alright, let's do something like that, and then something like should probably scroll up a little bit. It won't let me do this. Like that, and then something like that. How does that look? Kind of bad, if I'm being honest. A lot stubbier than it should be. Damn. Well then. Shit. How do I want to do this? I'm not going to be able to shake this cough now. It aggravated my sinuses so bad. Holy fuck. Make the payload one, please. That's what I'm doing, Toka. But you'll notice it's a lot bigger than mine. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make fairings that are that tall. We need to figure out a way to do that. Let me take off this fairing. God damn, I'm trying so hard not to cough. And I can't do anything about it. What the fuck? I need a new bong so bad. Such a shitty piece of crap. Such a good bong, but what a shitty piece of crap. Alright, sure. Still not tall enough. We can't get them tall enough. Hey, that's what I want right there. And then in and something like that. Though unfortunately, it's a little funky. Can I scale this up? I cannot. Good lord, my coughing! We're back to the chat from Kingdom Hearthstone. Can't read chat very much anymore. Pretty much, it just keeps going up and up and up. But it's all good. For this slow-ass stream, I'm happy. Next. What else are we missing here? I think the size is almost good now there. It's not too bad. We'll take it. It's going to be the Falcon 9 knockoff anyways. And now we need about the same amount of length there, minus the cone at the top. And the same amount of length and fuel tanks, and then turn it into an engine. Alrighty, let's see if we can do that. But I think I'm going to have a problem. This is too small down here. Like, that's tiny. Let's take this off. Supposedly, I can go taller. Somebody told me I can. Ghostly told me I can. So let's do these. Sure. And then something like these. And then I can go taller. I'm just an idiot. Well, I've acknowledged that many a times before. That doesn't look too shabby, I have to admit. Though it looks a little bit too big once more. Let me double check here. How small is that? Yeah, I think I need to either increase the size of this fairing, which is not possible, or we need to solve some resizing issues here. I think it's probably just too big. So let me take this off. Put a new one, because I know you can edit it, but it's a lot easier to do this. Bring it down. We'll say something like so, and then something like that. Something like that. Something like that. And now bring the nose cone up. I'll call it. Whoa. That's not what I was expecting. Interesting. I guess I didn't go far enough in. There we go. Alright, I'll call it quits on that. That works. Make it thinner. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it thinner. Let's go same width of that and see how it looks. Do we have fuel tanks that works for this? Or, oops, fuel tank. We're probably not going to fly this thing tonight, but hey, we can build it. We can, or can we build it? Yes, we can. Space Y, that's, man, see those decouplers, those fairings aren't big enough. That's appropriate, though. I kind of want that. Can I, like, just barely scale it down? Oh, see, that looks too small. That looks bulbous. Don't you use rolling papers? Hell no. That's resiny as fuck as well. I mean, it gets it all over your teeth. Oh, crapper. Do we have any other payload fairings that are bigger? Any at all? This is number 3, so it's supposedly the largest. Ooh. Ooh. I like it. Is there like a 7? There's a 7-meter fairing. Yes! That's what I want. Okay, so let's go like that. Oops. Let's go like that. Do that. Do that. And then it's kind of a rounded off top like that. Yes! That works for me. Now, oh, I need to have like RCS control and everything else on this. Ooh. I'm an idiot and I forgot about that. Okay. Well, first things first, let's go for a monopropellant tank then. Because really, should I have a monopropellant on the outside or on the inside? Might as well put it on the inside, right? Because we already have all the space. I wonder if this fucks up my fairing. It doesn't. Okay, so let me take this. Let me add a shitload of monopropellant to it and see what happens. Technically, it's increased. Oh, that, yeah, there's my problem. It increases the weight of the top of the vehicle, which is right now pretty much light because there's nothing in it. I think I'll just leave it. Let's go to fuel tanks. So much indecision. This isn't fuel tanks, those are engines. Good job. Space Y BFR. Nope. Close, but nope. Nope. Close, but nope. These guys. Damn it. Those are... 5 meters. Those are too small. Wonder if we can make other fuel tanks work. I think I'm gonna try to make my own fuel tanks out of the fuel fuselages. Cool. It looks better. It looks more space sexy. Space sexy. Let's go on up. Now, how big is the cone? It's about 2 of these. So let's say Alt, put it down here. Now this has a single engine. Ooh, actually, I take this off. Go back to fuel tanks. Did I grab that from over here? I did. Here's the junior version of it. It's the short one. Can't change the size of that. Never mind. Mark 0 Junior, can I scale this up? Nope. Well, that's not what I wanted. I want a short one that I can scale up. Monopropellant tank. I guess I could just use a monopropellant tank and scale it up. And then, no, I'd still need another fuel tank. That's kind of the whole point. Monopropellant, fuel tank, no. I need it from the same area too, because these gray ones down here, just the fuel fuselages, they don't have any markings on them or anything like that, which makes it perfect. Huh. I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Or I wonder, ooh, that's an idea. I wonder if I could glitch it glitch it somehow. Gotta go. See you later, Dusty. I know this is what we have to do. I can't scale these engines up. Or these fuel tanks up. And I don't think we have a small enough one that I can fiddle around with. Rocket Max fuel tank. Yeah, and that has those weird lines on it. Damn it. Alright. Because my idea is to have that and then have a gimbal engine. I guess that's all we really need. We can always add RCS and make it controllable later. Sure, why not? Let's just move on. Grab engines. Boop, 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 boop. We're tight. Is that gonna be big enough? No. That has the most thrust, doesn't it? That's 2,000 compared to 6,000 EMU engine. We'll go for the EMU. Can we scale it up? We can. Holy bejesus. I think it's big enough. I think it's big enough, indeed. Alright, so let's now take our lovely fuel tank off here. Now, ooh, lovely. How tall is it past that on the Falcon 9? My goodness. It's like another, if that's 2 on top, it's like another 4, and then landing legs. Alright, this is gonna be interesting. I'm already at the ground level, so let's just move on up. 2, 3. Move it on. It won't physically let me move the vehicle up anymore. Interesting. Let's how should I do this? I think I know how. Let's take some landing legs. Oh wait, first let's do the engine. Might as well. Most important thing first. Where is the 9 engine amazingness that is Space Y? Oh, do you have a custom bottom for it? The super tight engine. 7. Oh, nope. That's definitely not it. Going for the 9er. There we go. BFR 9. Is that too big? Ooh. It snaps right onto there. How much thrust does this produce? 20,000. That's, well, 19,000. That is a lot. Alright, let's get some landing legs on here. Oh yeah, we have grid fins now, don't I? I installed a mod that had them, supposedly. Grid fins! Large. How big are the large ones? They are not big enough. We'll take the large ones and then hopefully rescale them. Oh my god, this is so cool. And they're upside down, but that's fine. I think they're upside down. Do they activate downwards or they activate upwards? I think they activate upwards on a Falcon 9. Hold on. Oh, wrong image. They activate upwards. I didn't know that. Makes sense. See you later, Dust. Oh, never mind. See you later, Dusty. I think I already said that. So they do have to flip. They are upside down. Okay, that's what I was trying to do, right? I think? No? Maybe? I can't figure it out. Scale. Up. That works. Possibly even bigger than that. What's... It won't let me scale them bigger than that. Okay, well that's fine. Let me rotate them. Let's start a new rocket company that launches people's dead animals into the stratosphere? Why? That seems kind of morbid. Seems really morbid. Alright, let's, I should put them on an action group, right? Action, custom. Toggle deploy. Custom 1. And now, landing legs. Falcon landing gear. Oh, goodness. Oh, it looks... Oh, it's so more... Oh, it's so much more legit. Oh, I love this. I feel like that's not quite right there. I feel like this should go lower. Let's go with it. How are those lined up with? They are not. Let's line these up rather than lining up the ones below them. Oh, I'm so happy. Let's start retracted. Oh, they look good. Can I change their color? No. I can't change their size. Tempted, because that almost matches the size of the rocket more. Okay, now. Here's where the cheating comes in. We're going to take this off. We're going to Alt. We're going to put this on. We're going to take this and we're going to slap it down. And then we're going to call it the Falcon 9. And we're going to see what happens. Sure. I don't have a decoupler. I need a 7-meter decoupler. 7.5 meters? Is that big enough? That's big enough. I'll take it. Now, I don't have control of this thing because I forgot to put... crap. Can I, like... do this and then... Yes. Okay, cool. Now let me zoom in here. Oh, I have an OK2 in here, don't I? I do. Alright, so I do have control of it. Good. Let me shift. Move you all the way back up. And then grab you. Put you on. Save. Let's see what the hell happens. Does it even look like a Falcon 9? Yeah, one hell of a cremation. People pay for some crazy shit. Very true. Does it even look like a Falcon 9? Kind of. The top needs to be adjusted. Like, let me... If we're not tilting, I don't think we are. Let me pop up the image. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know. Let me zoom in. It's not too shabby. I feel like it needs to be bigger. Like, we need more oomph on our fuel tanks. They need to be maybe 0.5 meter to 2 meters bigger. I think this thing is wiggling across the ground. Let's see if it takes off. Let's take the Falcon 9 off. It's not a bad rocket. SAS, if it works, sweet. I don't know how to control with the keyboard, so this is going to be interesting. Let's just do 100% throttle, and I didn't add fuel. That's a problem. What does this thing run off of? The big damn engine. Methane. Got it. Methane. Methane. And then this one, I assume, runs off of the kerosene. Is that it? That is indeed it. Alright, cool. Let's save. You're having an asthma attack right now? That's not good. Try to calm down a little bit. Sit down, take deep breaths if you can. Slow down your breathing. I know it's hard, but try to slow it down. And if it persists and keeps getting worse, definitely call somebody. 911, your mom, your dad, your spouse, someone, because I can't help you. I don't know where you live. I know quite a few people with asthma that definitely fucking hate it. I can relate there. I don't know anything about it, but I know that it's fucking annoying as hell. 3, 2, 1. Does it work? No. We don't even have enough thrust to get this thing off the ground. Theoretically. It says we're at 1 meter per second. What? No ignitions are made. What? Electric charge out. Am I out of electric charge? No. The hell happened there? Revert to vehicle assembly. I am indeed still streaming. I figured I'd just mess around a little bit at the end of the stream because it's been so uneventful. I had to do something. Actually, do we have like SpaceX launch clamps? Submarine hull? We can start making boats. I forgot we can make boats. Oh my god, we need to do that. Alright, any form of... I thought we had SpaceX launch clamps. We do, they're here. SYLC long retraction heavy duty launch clamp. Let's do it. I can't get this thing off the ground, can I? I think that might be why this is having a problem. It's in the ground. And I can't push it further. Can I move it further? No. That's a good way of glitching out the game. Damn it! If I take this off for a second, I get rid of... Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. If I get rid of this, it doesn't look like a Falcon 9 anymore because it's too stubby. But does it get off the ground? Do. Well, that's probably should have used 2 clamps. Nice. Let me just hit T whenever we come back. Activate the engine. Throttle on up and go. Nope, still down to the ground. So we're too heavy for this engine. Interesting. Let's take the fuel out of the top stage. Just to see if we can get it, you know, flying. Let's say empty this fuel tank. Goodness. Oh, I should have added the other launch clamp. Damn it. Or we're going to have a little bit of a swinging launch again. Throttle on up. Let's get this thing set up right. And launch. Nope, still going straight into the ground. Do we start taking off anytime soon? How much fuel do we need to lose? We got a lot of it, I have to admit. We're just under acceleration. Oh, you bastards. Okay, hold on. Revert flight to vehicle assembly. Now, since I know the launch clamp doesn't, like, it's not the reason we're having problems. Let me attach that. Let me say remove that, and then let's say, I'm gonna take most of your fuel out of, and then I'm gonna take some fuel out of, and we're gonna see what happens. Save, and take this damn launch clamp off. Because it doesn't help at all. Goodbye. Save launch. Goodness me. I'm just trying to end the stream with something a little bit more entertaining than what we've had. It'd be cool if we could propulsively land this, but I'm using a keyboard, so the chances of me being able to do that are slim to none. Oh, that was an interesting slam on the ground. Throttle up. T, and can you get off the ground now? Hey! Liftoff has been achieved! Let's bring that gimbal down if I can. Try to prevent some of that wiggle. Wonder if we can control from here. Nope. Nope. Just wanted to see. At least we're going up. Now, how much fuel do we have? Looks like quite a bit. Is there no fuel in that fuel tank? I guess not. Lovely. That might be why we're going up. They flamed out. How did that... What? Do you need a good PC to play this? Not really. How did that just happen? Oh, why is my throttle down to 0? What? No connection to send commit. Oh! I lost connection. That's awesome. Can we just come in for a landing then? The Falcon 9 coming in for a landing. That's pretty damn funny, I have to admit. We need to add some form of control to this thing if we want it to be able to go all the way to space. And just like a real Falcon 9, we can land and then tip over. Alright, so I'm gonna call it quits here. The launch clamps or the landing gear didn't lock in place. That's actually a problem they've had on SpaceX. I'm going to call it quits here for the night because I'm just too brain dead to figure this out tonight. I need to do some thinking. I'm not going to do programming, most likely. And if I do, I swear on my life, swear on everything that's holy. I really don't have anyone to swear on because, I mean, I don't have a spouse or any parents. But I swear on everything that's holy to me. I will try to do only gameplay on the stream. If I do anything off stream, I'm not going to be copying code. I'm going to be just figuring this out. I've got to figure out what the hell we can do to make sure that we are in between the 9 meters per second, 9.8 meters per second, and 14.7 meters per second of acceleration. We will get it very soon. I've just got to think about that equation a little bit more. Past that, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow in possibly Zelda or Kerbal Space Program. Who knows?